live. I don't know why I said it like that. Alright, we are back with another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We are going to start in our usual manner of introduction. First up, we have Carrick as... Carrick? Wait, no, I've done that wrong. I am clearly not feeling well.
Yep.
Alright, let's try that again. First up, we have Blackheart as...
Carrick Marsk.
We have Kronos as...
Shaxan Rodskala.
We have Hedden as...
Telde.
We have Marcus as...
Corvus Halalas.
We have Semi as...
Gifton Greysteel.
We have Tobias as...
Aspiapia Steel Shot.
And we have me, Yuli, as your friendly DM. Who would like to give the recap? Nobody, huh? I guess that will
You're gonna make me actually pull my book out. I was trying to avoid it.
I mean,
I'm sorry, you losers. I've done it the last 2 weeks in a row or something like that. Somebody else needs to do it.
I only have so much space that covered with food right now.
I can do it. It just means I get the promised things.
No, because you already rolled good enough.
No, I'm okay with that.
Dungeon Mommy, don't hurt me.
I will use my cards carefully in a targeted way to try and kill somebody.
Ooh.
Dungeon Mommy, don't kill me.
Dungeon Mommy kill.
The unfortunate thing, I've got notes, but they are incredibly sparse.
I mean, part of that's
On what occurred.
the physical did is actually very little. It just took a
If it's very little, you can do it as a quick summary.
I will. Unless you
Recaps
want
do not need to be intense.
I will do it.
Go ahead, Blacker.
Okay. So, start of game last week, we appeared back on the airship and started getting situated into not really being able to leave again because we are getting almost to Hexenreich. We found Martin and Taldi fishing for the bucket that fell overboard because it's Martin and not the sharpest tool in the shed, but at least he tries to be nice and good. They directed us down because we were looking for Scarlet, and in the process of going down, we offered Echo the use of Cass's cabin since she can't fit in the regular size one and uses the hold. We got all squared away with Scarlet to start moving, and Gifton decided we need to really go over all the loose ends that we currently have that we can think of right now, and had a nice sheet full of a lot of information, including unhappy with Morgani calling her religion poopy and stuff like that with drawings. We did have a discussion, came up with the idea that maybe it isn't actually the first dragon's fault of what's happening, because when they were here before everything happened, this wasn't going on. So came up with one of the ideas to check on the first with the physical with the ocular that we have, and we attempted that. Found out using strong enough magic, it pulls everybody to see, so everyone has now seen our primary person we're knowing we're gonna have to deal with for the first. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't someone correcting me. And we're doing pretty good finding out that whatever the first really is not just touching what we're doing, it's touching what appears to be the actual reality, because there was a distortion of stars behind it as it flew. And the spell ended as it turned because someone got their attention. Got that. We then talked to Echo about what we saw. I showed the effect with an illusion, and Echo basically told us, yeah, that's actually the real reality of what is out there, not just what the dreamer's making. Gifton said sending to Spiri. we're hoping not to do that again. But both Shaxton and I ended up getting a response from Spiri of.
As far as I know, it's the safest way to communicate with Spiri, so I'm going to keep doing it. Thank you.
Yes, one of us didn't have Spiri talking in their brain. Both of us actually okayed Spiri, not knowing that the other one was also offered, and started talking in tangent. And Gifted had a discussion. I've got to flip my page. Give me a second. This paper is just getting to the end. It does not like flipping. There was a whole discussion of what's the best way to describe it, because my notes are horrible at this part. I'll be honest, I actually have a lack of notes of the actual discussion because I think I was too busy sitting there going,
what does your memory tell you?
Does my memory tell me? That's a good question. We had a discussion to make sure that the idea was true that nothing like what is happening now with Morgani was happening while they were free. We also discussed a little bit about, if I remember right, possible ways to try to deal with that, along with also the egg of the magic. And mentioning that Spiri was very happy to know that Morgani kept something of theirs, and we found out once they were imprisoned, unfortunately, there was kind of a crusade against their children, and most did not survive. Except
part
for
of that conversation was actually focused on Morineth, or Moreth, I think it was. The daughter of the physical, who's the armor that I have been carrying.
Yeah, that's the mother of.
We were discussing how to deal with that and how to deal with the egg.
Thank you. That actually explains why Morneth is in the notes, and that actually confused me because I couldn't remember who it was. I'm fixing that note as soon as I finish.
I can't load Google Docs, so I'm doing this by memory alone.
Take it from a DM whose notes are filled with this kind of trap. Don't just write a name down and assume you'll remember. It's never true.
I think that might have been when I started.
I say this from experience.
Yeah. There was a whole series of scrying attempts from Corvus on. It's Lewis, right?
Louis.
On Lewis, his brother, and it worked this time. And through some attempted communications with him and such, it was decided to mount a rescue operation. And we headed through the empty to a facility of some sort, which immediately triggered an alarm.
And now we're all in prison.
Yes, we are all in prison. We have found Lewis. And if I remember correctly, that's actually, we were trying to find our way through the facility was where we ended.
We weren't actually trying to find her anywhere.
We just literally found Lewis.
Corvus was just getting a chance to settle with Lewis, and then the alarm stopped. And one other thing that is important is during the discussion with Spiri that happened after talking to, or after the discussion with Spiri, we talked to Echo, and
Sammy's going break up.
We found out from Echo was her.
We're losing you, Sammy.
You're breaking up a lot, Sam.
To reach the dreamer.
She can't probably hear us.
20 years ago.
I think it's broken up a leg.
And
there she goes.
I hope it's better.
Well, we'll need an extended sentence to be able to tell.
All right. Well, I see it's peeking up at green again. But anyway, the thing with Echo was 20 years ago, she made her biggest attempt to try and get a hold of the Dreamer. And at that point, she thinks she made contact with somebody, but she doesn't know who. But she made a big attempt about 20 years ago, which would line up with Noran, and that was one thing that we did find out last session. That was all I was bringing up.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, I think that's everything.
Okay, all right, go ahead and take yourself a standard inspiration.
Suddenly we see a bright light as the prison explodes and we all die.
And we are going to pick up where we left off. The alarms ceased, quiet taking over the facility. Even the lights just changed into a standard lighting color, a very soft yellow. Lewis crying against Gifton. Those of you with passive perceptions that exceed 15 will hear what sounds like door bolts being drawn and footsteps moving at high speed, echoing through the hallways. Not close, but clearly the sound carrying at a distance.
Is that something we should be worried about?
Should think about getting out of here.
We might need rescuing as well.
When you say that, Gifton, Lewis stiffens in your arms and just goes, no, please, we have to go, please, just get me out of here, please.
All right.
There will be other times for this later. We are getting Lewis out.
All right.
Unless we are doing this right here, I will cover the exit.
Remember, I have to be the last one. Lewis?
I'm gonna take out a bandage and start wrapping it around Lewis's eyes.
He panics and starts, trying to scramble away from you. Arms sort of not pushing you, but like just flailing around his own head. And there's that. He's clearly flinching.
Lewis, where we are going, it's better not to see. Okay, it was a shocking and jarring experience. Stay close to someone next to you and hold on to their hands.
Please don't put that on me. Please don't put that on.
I won't put it on you, but you gotta promise me whatever
Keep your
happens,
eyes closed.
Whatever you hear, don't look around, don't look back. You're going to be walking through an angel graveyard.
With clear fear on his face, mixed with not understanding, but driven by a desperation just to get out of here, he nods rapidly.
Be not afraid. It shall be okay.
You can, all of you hear now these footsteps approaching, and you can hear clear Hexenreich accented voices shouting, Lewis, where are you? In Hexenreich, Lewis that can understand it.
I don't understand. I'm swapping to the other internet because it's up. So
okay.
Burbs.
Mild pause. Yes.
So we're in a small room with.
No, you're in a hallway.
Single door in. Okay.
Most of you in the hallway, like this little cluster is at the doorway to the small room that Lewis was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just Gifton, Corvus, and Lewis in the room currently.
No one's in the room because Lewis tried to push out of the room. You're all in the hallway.
Oh yeah, you can. He pushed out. Yeah.
Yeah,
he tried to leave.
Stonewalled him. We're waiting for Sam to get back.
Yeah.
And we, as a brief thing, can we tell what direction they're coming from?
Yeah, it is enough. They appear to be coming actually from the direction you guys approached from the other room, just further down that hallway.
Do the doors open in or out?
These rooms, they open inwards. Into the rooms.
Okay.
Second question: what are the walls made of?
Stone.
Okay, cool.
Are the doors wood?
The doors do appear to be heavy wood with metal banding to the usual classic doorway.
Sorry, please continue, Kronos.
Jax is going to calmly push past the group slightly and just slap his hand on the wall and stone shape. I'm making a wall straight across.
Okay, very nice. You block off the passage. We're gonna hold. Everyone can do a single action, but we're gonna hold them too much.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do it twice, but yeah.
Sure, you can stone shape twice if you want.
Don't need to. I don't think so, unless the hallway's big enough.
No, you can do a single use will do it.
Corvus, unless you want to guide him through just before the end, I can help guide you, brother.
Yes, I have to be last ones, so.
Lewis, I will help guide you. Just keep your eyes closed.
Okay,
And I will
we are going to wait on Sam for anything further.
Yeah.
Better get them their internets back.
Great. Now I have the Final Jeopardy theme competing with the Countdown theme.
So, how about that weather?
It's snowing.
It's never not snowing.
All right, time for me to talk about spoilers about something that I've watched recently.
Yay!
King Kong.
All right, so Andy Serkis is in it.
I don't know Randy Serkis. I don't think he's that old.
Dan, just put on your weather and your fucking radio man voice to start reading the weather.
No.
Tell us about Ukraine and how Russia is asshole.
All right. So you know how Ukraine is one of the greatest nations out there?
Oh, yeah.
Russia is not.
Oh, that
and
makes
it's trying
sense.
to fuck that shit up because they're jealous as shit.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Possibly high, Gifton?
Yeah, I was just waiting for it to be stable. The regular net's not stable right now. It's going up and down repeatedly. So Drax just told me to go back on Wi-Fi. So.
Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Gifton, all that you've missed is Shaxton has done a basically stone shape so that to block off the where the sound's coming from across the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Basically separated you guys off from that. And Carrick was just trying to reassure Lewis.
Are we sure we want to stone shape that off? We're between them and their food supply.
I don't think there's always one way, but either way, they can manage it or something else. For now, it's stopping them from getting to us.
All right, have it
before we go.
Everyone, line up and get ready to leave. Goris focuses on the airship, on the decking.
Okay.
And he pushes his hand forward and pulls it down.
Okay, so you open up the empty. Lewis looking at it with some trepidation, clearly not wanting to be one of the first people to step into this rift.
I'll do it.
I'll run through. Yeah, go ahead. Tell.
Yep, I'll head through. Hold my sword in the way, but and go not terribly far, given the fact that we actually need Corvus in front of us as well. So
yeah, okay. So you step on in.
After Gifton runs in, I'll try to. Come on, Lewis. Let's go in.
Keep your eyes closed, Lewis.
Okay, Lewis actually holds onto your arm tightly, Carrick, stepping forward with you. And I would like you, Cassie, Corvus, and Shaxton to make me an insight check as he sort of glances back.
Yeah, that's what I expect from
Becky?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant just them. I missed that part for me. Insight. Come on. Looks so different now.
Okay. Do you have advantage on that?
Yes, I have advantage on all insight checks because of the.
Right. Shaxton, you do catch a glimmer of this on his face, along with the trepidation. It looks like there's a little bit of guilt there. The rest of you read it a lot clearer, and Corvus, it's the whole thing comes through to you, Corvus. There is that guilt of I'm leaving people behind on his face, and yet he closes his eyes and steps through with Carrick.
Go, everyone, go.
Going on through.
The rest of you see that guilt, but it's whatever you assume it would be.
Ass is going through after Carrick and
Jax will be second last.
Okay. Right, they're all through Corvus.
Okay, Chorus will go in and assume position in the front of the line and begin following his line.
Okay. The journey through the empty is uneventful. Lewis actually keeps his head down and his eyes clenched shut. And it's opening up the other side of the rift that is a little startling, Corvus. As you open it up, step through straight into nearly face-to-face with Echo.
I'm gonna have been singing a song the whole way to try and keep them booted up through the empty.
Okay. Echo, hands clasped behind her back, just sort of takes a few steps back, almost looking past you at the opening as everyone else comes through.
Corvus just kind of goes through and grabs onto Echo's shoulders and kind of pushes her back as he goes. Later!
If you could stay back slightly, it would help to have some space.
Of course. Right, and soon enough, you are all through, and Corvus is closing up.
Yep.
Okay. And you are you're closed up. Lewis.
You're good to open your eyes again.
Lewis very, very slowly opens his eyes.
Welcome to the deck of the Forge Hammer, a fine Baratheon ship.
And he's barely seems to be listening to you. He's looking around at the open air, and there's his face is a mix of emotions. There's joy, then sadness, then just relief, and a whole
Corvus
mix of
goes
different
and
things.
Hugs Lewis. Just falls into him and hugs.
Go ahead and go use my room for him for now till you figure out what's gonna happen. I'll move the radio into the cafeteria. Or into the mess.
Lewis will hold on to you, Corvus, as he starts to just sob softly again to himself with relief.
I'm gonna go downstairs and go move the radio.
Okay.
I'll let Lewis have my room for now.
Do you want to stay up here, or do you want to go to a room? And...
Please, yeah, just a little.
Yes.
Please.
Come on. Let's go over here.
Okay. You can take him to the
forecastle or something.
Mm-hmm. Basically, take him to one of the ends of the ship, a little privately, where he just exists. The rest of you can see Corvus with his brother, and there is a resemblance. It's nothing uncanny, but you can clearly see that they are related.
He's older.
He is older, but far more striking is the resemblance to Albrecht.
Corvus will free him from the hug and just kind of hold him across the shoulder.
I didn't think anything.
Just take it in. You're safe now. Everyone here, very good people. And
he looks sort of sideways at you, Corvus, and you can see him taking your face in, and he just sort of mumbles, "You look like Dad."
Yeah. Might try, at least. Don't have the big beard on the sides, but...
you knew where I was.
It took a lot of time, and unfortunately, I was not aware of the situation for a long time. But we can go into that more later when you've rested.
We
you had something to eat, drink, and
are we going home?
Free. You're going home, yes.
Yeah, you've got a nephew.
Yes, Albrecht.
You met him.
We've met him about a year ago.
Are they doing okay?
Albrecht is doing very well. He is with a group of people that are friends. My friends here have come to trust. They are Lord Capet's, Calvin Capet.
He looks confused for a moment before he goes, "What do you mean he's with?"
Before your son is your son's a lord.
It's so very merry. I wouldn't blame her as long as she and Albert are safe.
Mary's dead, right?
Yeah, you know that Albert's mom's dead.
Yeah. He tightens his hold around Lewis. Mary, she's no longer with us. Don't know the details of it.
His face just scrunches in agony.
Well, and she was sick, right? She died of illness.
Mm-hmm.
She died of illness.
Yeah. A sickness took her.
He doesn't reply beyond just taking in haggard breaths, and you can feel him once again just sort of slumping a little.
Corvus is very much supporting and holding.
That's going to take a little bit of time for him.
Yeah.
And I imagine you're staying with him. Okay. The rest of you. Gifton, you are easily able to clear your room out a bit. Move the radio.
I'll move the radio over to the mess. Is the door still there?
Oh, your Feywild door?
Yeah, well, it's not the Feywild. It goes to my house from Dingus's special thing. He can open the door.
Yeah. I'm accounting that as all Feywild stuff. Unfortunately, that is not there.
Okay, it did fade away. Okay, good. Now I don't have to worry about warning anybody about the damn door. So,
hey, Lewis, don't go through that door.
Well, if he goes through that door,
it's actually a good door for him to go through if it was there. Yeah,
it's just nothing but food.
Well, it goes to food to my house. It would have been fine.
Dingus is tilting his head at the wall where the door was. Mimi?
I miss the door too, sweetie. I'm gonna grab one of the pillows because there was enough in there for Gifted and Care at one point. It was supposed to be a double. They put two beds together in there, so she's gonna grab one of the pillows and go situate everything in the mess, and she's gonna go find a spot in the mess or under a stairwell or something like that. Set up a pillow and a blanket for herself and Dingus.
You're able to do that. Actually, as you're doing that, 1 second. As you're doing that, one of the airship's two dwarves, the Dr. Goric, actually comes on walking by and he just says, "Yeah, Goric." And he looks at it and goes, "What are you doing, lass?"
Just setting up a spot to sleep later.
He gives you a sort of question look, like opens his hands up like, "Yana, not even bothering to ask, why aren't you sleeping in your room?" Why?
What?
Why not in your bunk?
We just picked up a survivor, and I'm giving them my room to give them some space, and we seem to have picked up a lot of extras.
We've got a few extra collapsible cots stored away.
I'll be fine.
He sort of scratches his beard a little bit before going.
And those cots are going to get used up pretty quick soon anyway, I have a feeling.
Maybe. Do you want to take my room?
I get my heart set on one. No, you keep your room. I'll be fine.
Well, at least let me get you some extra padding and blankets.
This is going to be more than enough for me and Dingus. Don't worry about it. This is heaven for us. We'll be fine, right, Dingus?
Dingus is staring at you before he starts meeping at the dwarf, and the dwarf, his face looks like he's perhaps getting some shapes and such in his head and trying to figure them out.
Dwarf concentration faces.
I think your little man wants you to have some extra blankets.
It's not going to be very comfortable, Dingus, when I'm like this big.
Me.
Right, he wants an extra blanket. We'll get him an extra blanket.
Yeah, right. So, Gorick will just shake his head and just, I'll get you something extra for him at least before he heads off. Everyone else, what are you doing?
He looked underfed, didn't he?
Oh, yes.
Just gonna look the other side. I'm not gonna interrupt the two of them. I'm gonna head down to the mess. When he's hungry, just send him down and I'll make some stuff for him. And what about, that's it for up top, about what time-ish is it?
Basically the same time as you left. You guys...
Oh, we ate when we were here, so yeah, it's not
like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it was a very quick show.
Yeah, so just gonna head down and actually gonna, since it's been a little while since we've actually been down here, I'm gonna actually start, what's the word? Checking what we got. Yes.
Okay.
Stock.
The
mess.
Right, in that case, give me an investigation check.
Okie dokie.
Hadn't we been on here for a couple days? Journey?
Yeah, you had.
Yeah, but I have never actually said I was actually checking what was in here.
Okay. You can take a quick check. It is stocked up with basically lots of food that will keep. There is lots of dry provisions, jerky, so on. There is some raw ingredients because it's an airship, it can afford a little bit of luxury, but it is mostly meat, tack, biscuits, some hearty breads.
Are the pans in okay shape? Since I know Martin's been cooking.
A little crusty, but nothing that you couldn't sort out.
We're gonna clean them. I'm gonna decrust the pans.
Yeah, Martin might complain about you ruining his seasoning. That is not seasoning.
Though it's seasoning. Unfortunately, it's actual seasoning that's been left out.
Yeah, that special taste that you get from diners that don't really clean their stuff enough, so you taste all of the previous cooked meals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You will do inventory and start cleaning then. Shaxton, Telde, Cassie.
Cass is going to start roaming around the ship. She's going to start doing carpentry stuff because it's a big wooden ship.
It's not a wooden ship. It's metal.
It's mostly metal.
Oh, I kept thinking it was a wooden ship that had.
No, you've been wanting
You've been wanting this ship to be wood.
You've been wanting it to be wood the entire time. You even threatened to tear parts out and replace it with wood. And I was like, my metal ship, why?
Do you want to try and put some wood paneling up? Nice little veneer.
Oh God, we're going back to the 70s.
No, actually,
get some shade.
Sit down. And if she has material, she's going to start constructing herself a tiny room downstairs that's big enough for her.
Okay. Yeah.
So by a tiny room, you mean a massive area that you're.
Compared to the size of Cass, it's tiny.
You can start doing that, indeed.
I thought one of the bedrooms was big enough. The biggest problem for you was the door at most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also that's
It was mostly the stairs, but you keep going up and down anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can start making something in the hold if you want. This will basically stretch some of the last of your lumber here. But if that's what you want to do, you can go ahead and give me a carpentry roll. Wow. Okay, there you go. Yep. So with decent speed, you start building yourself basically a little centaur shack. It's a little tricky because you can't exactly secure it well. Not unless you try and actually sort of use some of the ropes and such that they use to secure cargo down to the hooks and such. But it's essentially
it will be secured in one way or another.
Well, that's basically the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna rope it in.
Yeah.
Basically, floating walls.
Floating walls.
I'm assuming you have a floor frame you put down because you probably would have wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's anchored to the cargo hooks in the ceiling and the floor, so that the walls are there, but they're not actually attached to the framework of the ship, other than via those hooks. So they're just kind of floating there.
So you've made a
That's fair. That's
house.
pretty unsafe.
Okay.
I will.
Never mind, then.
Well, I will tell you because Cass would probably know this stuff. Just she's experienced enough. You definitely want to secure it down. Get those ropes, pulling it down. You get a little more safe anchorage that way.
Cass will do what she needs to do to make it safe.
Okay. Telday, Shaxon.
Shax is going to check in with Claude briefly just to see if there's anything that pressingly needs attention on the ship. And if not, he'll actually go back to his quarters and start working on the familiar project some more.
Claude will, when he sort of comes down to engineering, he sort of wipes his hands with a rag, which you might actually make his hands dirtier than they already were. Tucks it into his belt and sort of just leans against the console and goes, honestly, I think we could do with a lot more systems, weapon ones, but can't magic that out of thin air, can we?
Unfortunately, no, it'll require bots that we just do not have right now.
He sort of...
As grim as it sounds, with any luck, there might be some places in Hexenreich that we go to where we can get more.
They're not going to be using it, are they? He says, the dwarf giving you a big, very dark, humid grin.
Shax will chuck and go, I mean, I hope not, given that we are the primary target of it.
You're going to be alright, looting your own homeland?
I don't know, there are many things I don't think I'm going to be alright with, but it is what is necessary and what will make it so my homeland might continue to exist later.
Well, yeah.
And in the long run, that is important.
There might not be much that needs doing right now, but the systems can always do with a little check-up, a little retune if you need something to occupy you.
I'll check into that along with the project I've been working on for myself.
He just nods. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night. And Jax will actually then retire to his room and start. Since he's got the console in the room for checking some of the stuff anyways because he installed it, he'll do a cursory check of some stuff, but then drift over to working on the familiar project more because he's trying to get that thing built.
Okay. All right. You can do that. Is that... I will ask now, is that how you want to spend your next coming days?
Yeah.
Right, we're not going to have any major interruptions for a bit, so I will say that over the next few days you can actually get that done.
Cool.
Right, Tilde.
Okay, I was just waiting to make sure that was all cleared. Yep. In that case, I am going to engage Echo in discussion.
Okay, she's standing nearby just watching Corvus and Lewis curiously, so it's not hard to saddle up to her once everyone else has sort of wandered off. And as you approach, she just turns her head towards you, just curiously.
What is it that brings you interest at the moment?
Familial connection, and she's pointing her fingers at the two of them.
Indeed. Brothers.
Yes. Did he miss him a lot?
I could not say for sure, but he was discussed at times. Corvus was not always the most open to discussing feelings. Until recently. Most of those feelings have been anger.
Yes, he does seem to be full of not nice feelings. So bad for him.
It is what it is, I suppose. There are many who are angry at the world.
Are you angry at the world?
No, angry is not the correct word.
What is?
Disappointed.
Does not meet your expectations?
It does not meet my hopes.
And what are they?
Equality. Peace. Those would be a good start.
No. She just smiles wryly. Peace is easy to obtain.
Death is not a solution in that regard.
Why not, though?
Death is not peace. Death is nothingness.
That's such a strange concept. I still find it hard to believe that he would let you amount to naught in the end.
There are heavens, but they are still connected. It is merely a different form of life. Can you experience death?
Not in the way you know it. I suppose one of us could choose to end and become something new, but to end entirely? She just shakes her head.
Becoming something new. Is there a sense of continuity in consciousness? Are you the same thing?
If we so chose to be. Continuity will always be there. You cannot stop it. There is no interruption, but consciousness, if you wish to carry it forward with you, you may. If not, let it go.
And how do you view others who have done so? Are they the same, or are they a different one?
She actually sort of tilts her head back, looking up at the sky. She actually seems to have to think about this. I can't say I have been invested enough in anything to think about that. Neither me nor my siblings have ever chosen to renew ourselves. And the other life forms that did, well, I've only known in passing.
Are there many?
Oh, a vast amount.
Tell me more about your world.
Okay, if you wish, Telday, she will actually sit down with you and start telling you about outside. She will detail how, her world is essentially the fastness of the universe that they know. She goes where she pleases. She does not have a place she thinks of as home beyond where she is at the time. She will tell you about beautiful sights that she's seen. She will tell you about different races that she's encountered. She will actually detail out more about the Azovs if you want, how they are, clever little messengers and traders, quite personable. She will describe species to you that defy real comprehension, and some that are far more mundane seeming. Yeah, she's essentially going to start telling you about the further universe outside of your reality.
Got it. I am now insane.
Now, could we tell a difference?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not going to go the Lovecraftian route. She's actually quite nice about it. It sounds pleasant.
Doesn't brain overload you?
Yeah, honestly, that would have been my assumption. Is not necessarily that she would have done it out of terrifying by intention, but rather attempts to comprehend.
Yes,
Simply.
thankfully, you are being told the stuff through the filter of something that already exists in this reality. So,
thanks, Plato.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate
I like to
this
think that
cave.
there's just large parts of the conversation where you're just going, and that's about the worst.
I would like a insight check from you, though, Tilde. It's going to be a tricky DC. I will say that ahead of time.
I mean, it's also Tell Day.
Yeah, which is why I think he has a chance, and I'm asking for it at all.
What? With that said, and really,
There's an inspiration coming. I can feel it.
Are we playing a card?
no, I don't want to play that card. In that case, I will play the roll again if it looks bad.
Yes. Okay, DC 30, you pass. Through this conversation, and this conversation will last a good couple of hours, if you so wish it to.
Yeah, I got nothing else I'm doing.
It's also Tell Day.
You do quickly come to realise that she's describing something vast and beautiful, and this seems to be a wonderful existence that she comes from, but it is also from the perspective of a being that is immense and above a lot of things, even in her own existence. And it becomes quite obvious that there might actually be a lot of minutiae amongst all of these other species that she describes that would be missed on something like her.
This one ate this other one right in front of me, but it didn't matter.
And whether it's just this fragment of them that has managed to come through here, and this echo themselves, or whether the actual being that they represent is like this, you can tell that this whole conflict and death and such is... Beneath the notice makes it sound rude and ill-mannered, but it just literally is. So this might be some of her first real exposure to it, the first time she really notices.
Oh, okay.
There's a naivety to it. It's probably the best way to say it. And it becomes quite apparent when she's talking about things she's done, things she's interacted with, that consequence is not a big parameter for her.
And it's not in the sense that it's a linearity issue, just does not.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, in her describing things, you will notice there is a disjointedness to it, where you begin to suspect, I'll give it to you with that. You've known that the dream has struggles with your concept and linearity and so on. You think that they might very well have their own linearity that they know of, but it is just disjointed from yours. Theirs is a straight line, whereas yours is spaghetti, or vice versa, just from a different perspective.
Yeah, they do experience one thing after another thing after another thing. It's just not necessarily the same things that we experience.
And there's just something in the way the dreamer is thinking of all this that is making it hard to understand, because you realise, hey, even the language that is being used doesn't translate, you know? Okay. Yes, Echo eventually starts to slow down with the stories, becoming a little bit wistful, and starts actually inquiring for your own stories. She starts to do a little gift trade, which thankfully I believe you have many to share if Tilde is willing.
It's been 10,000 years. I remember this one time I ate a donut.
This was the best day of my life. Yeah, okay. How long would you like to talk with Echo?
I will admit some of it is to keep her
Occupied?
somewhat distracted and occupied while Corvus is with his brother.
Later.
Okay, then after a few hours, the conversation will only halt when she makes a disgruntled looking expression as you hear obvious stomach rumbling.
Ah, yes, food.
Oh, yes, the hunger thing.
You should probably go eat food. It would be good for you.
Your Carrick is the one that is good for that, yes?
Yes, he can serve you food. Do not eat.
She is going to just promptly stand up and go looking for Carrick.
I misheard that, and then I parsed it properly. I didn't hear "don't eat it." I heard "don't eat it," not "don't eat him."
I want to believe at this time of day, though, the natural smells of the mess might draw her in, because Carrick is cooking.
Yeah, this has been hours upon hours.
Yeah, you probably would have started on dinner. Corvus. You end up just sitting on the deck with Lewis, who is clearly distraught, but you can see he's compartmentalizing that after having a little bit of a breakdown. Like, he quickly moves on and starts to ask how Albrecht is.
He will explain that he's going through education. He was, due to this situation, was adopted by one of our party members and took the name Forgehammer. And thusly became a lord. He will explain that part of it.
His head hangs, as he just nods a little bit and goes, "Oh, he is. He's been looked after.
He's been looked after very well. Again, I say those things just to show you how well he's been doing. But
please, I
didn't agree exactly with the thing, but at this moment of time, we didn't know anything concerning you, and it was better probably for him to think that.
Please don't think I begrudge you taking care of him and making sure he's okay. I'm glad. I'm beyond glad.
Well, we'll let you recover here on the ship. You don't have to talk with everybody if you don't want to. I know some of them probably going to want to ask some questions. I know you. We will probably try to go back to that place if there's anybody that you believe is there without warrant.
You see his hands tighten on the rail a bit.
We are going to Hexenreich for relief. That is our primary mission.
Wait, we're going.
You're not. You're not. You're going back to Barras. We're going to go to a town that we live in called Beacon. We will get you to Albrecht and the Capes. You'll hopefully be able to stay with the Capes and get your feet back under you. You don't have to worry about anything out there anymore. You focus on yourself and your son. Lewis, don't think about Hexenreich. We are going there at the behest of our government in Barras to help those in need. And
they don't deserve help, he says. And even as he says it, you can see that he doesn't entirely mean it, but
there are always those, even the mess of things, that can use help. Not everyone is bad there. We don't understand everything that's going on, mind you.
Again, that look of guilt on his face.
And there will be times where we can discuss that. But for now, I want you to rest. Sleep well knowing that you're safe. And you're in very good hands, everyone here. Regardless if I had found you or not, we were going to turn Hexenreich over to find you. All of us.
It didn't come sooner.
I know. And there's nothing I can say that will bring any relief to that.
He just leans on the rail, burying his head into his hands. I wanted to know about Dad, his work, and I didn't know anything about his work.
Our father's work has led to places. Death. And I am going to ask you about at a later point.
Wait.
Not tonight, not tomorrow.
What about... Is Dad,
It's a long story.
Is he alive? Is he alive?
No, I said no.
Oh.
Sorry.
It didn't come through.
Sorry.
It was just empty air, and I was sitting there going, "Shit! I swapped my connection. Did I break it?"
No.
I honestly thought I might have just lost my connection too.
He's silent for a moment after you tell him no, before he just nods.
There are many stories I can give to you when the time is right. But we have each other, and you have Albrick.
He stands up, wiping his eyes on his sleeve. For what it's worth, I'm sorry that you ended up going with him.
You stayed with our mother, which
Should have stayed with us.
I was 6, Lewis.
I know. We should have. Mum should have kept you. Hello. I could do with laying down.
We'll see if Gifton's done sorting out your room.
Which during all this time, Gifton, you could easily have sorted out your bedding and Dingus's extra bedding, which he spends a little bit of time preening on, getting it just right. Makes a little nook that you think is maybe brownie sized.
Yeah, nudge, perfect, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which you get that done soon enough. Where would you like to go after the fact?
I don't know. She's feeling a little lost. I think everybody's kind of doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost her own room, so she's just gonna sit by the radio and kind of stare at it and just kind of hope.
Okay.
You okay over there, Gifton?
Yeah, you're in the mess.
Yeah, no, I'm in the mess. That's where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. How's cooking?
Wonderful as always.
Wow, ego.
No, she said, how's cooking going? I didn't say the food's wonderful.
Yeah, but that's what you meant.
No.
Because you're so humble.
Gifton's shoulders sag even more because she remembers no one likes her cooking.
Eventually, at some point.
So you guys need to have her make something for Martin.
You have never heard Talday complain about your cooking.
Are we trying to punish him?
The sad thing is I'm proficient with all tools now, so I can probably do something, but no one trusts me anymore.
Go on, Carrick, have her hold the spoon.
Actually, I'm gonna ask.
Wanna come hold the spoon?
Which version are you in? Human or Fey right now?
I'm human, like 100% of the time. Gibson hasn't been brownie around the group in months.
I just wasn't sure with the talk of setting up the pillow. I was thinking that was like...
No, Dingus is hinting at her, and
you wanna come help?
Bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come help. Gotta cook for everybody, so.
They won't eat it if I touch it. Think so.
I mean, it can't be worse than Martin.
You mean? Dingus just flashes. I'll eat.
Oh. It's okay. I'm just gonna keep watching on the radio. Actually, I'm gonna pick
It's not a TV, Gifton. What's a TV? I don't know.
I'm gonna pick up the sendy part of the unit and give it a little go. Anyone there?
Yes.
What channel is it on, Gifton?
It's in my house.
Your house?
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's a moment of silence, a long moment of silence actually, before you go. You hear that button. Is it got to hold that button? Clearly the voice of one of your children.
Yeah, you gotta hold that button. Are you holding it?
Let go. I'm holding it.
Well, at least it wasn't the first sound, wasn't it? Now, I can't remember. Is this like a headset?
And then you hear meep from the other end. And
I figure this is like from MASH 4077, the thing like Radar O'Reilly always had with like the microphone stand in the little box, and you like just have to push the button on the thing, right? So
on the plus side, it doesn't sound like everything's breaking and anything.
And then the signal will come through clearly. And yeah, seems a few of your kids are there. And you just hear a sort of choruses, "Mummy, hi, Mom," and mixed with Silver Dragon beepings and meepings. And then you hear Rinson declaring that he will get Mummy out of the box.
No, I gotta stay in the box. I have to stay.
And you do hear what sounds like it's being thumped with something.
Carrick is actually laughing at what he's hearing.
This is burying her face into her hands.
After a moment, you hear Kay going, "No, what are you doing? No!" And there's a few sort of stern commands, which for Kay is still very gentle sounding.
We're not going to do that.
Before you just hear Kay saying, "Hello."
Hey, Care.
It's
me, Gibson.
Yes, I know your voice, love.
I don't know. The kids might have messed with the box a bit.
There's a few scratches on it, but nothing bad, I think.
All right. Just wanted to get word back to you. We're over Hexenreich now. We're going deeper. We just rescued Albrecht's father, Louis Adderlast, from a Hexenreich prison.
Oh, what? Wow. That's heavy.
I don't know if you want to talk that over with Lucian.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get him back to you by way of the empty, which isn't gonna probably be a great time for the poor boy, because it's not good for anybody, as you recall.
Are you going to? Okay, so do you want to bring him here, or do you want me to talk to the Capes first?
Talk to the Capes first, and then because I'm sure Corvus is gonna come talk to me about it at some point. Or he might just do it. I don't know, but we should get the Capes a heads up, so that way if Louis Adderlast shows up at their doorstep, they know that that's not a fake.
Yeah, and I can go talk to Lucian right now.
Corvus has kind of been a little jumpy on go do a thing, so like I said, he might just go. I haven't seen him in a bit. I feel bad.
Give me half an hour.
Sure.
Or I can carry you out. I mean, the radio. It's not mummy. It's not mummy. You hear him sort of saying a little distantly from the microphone. I can carry the radio, which mummy talks through, out to Lucian. Do you want to talk to Lucian yourself, or I can handle it?
Why don't you go ahead and handle it?
Okay, I'll handle it.
Yeah.
Lord and ladies, this is yeah. I'll get it sorted.
Yeah.
I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, love you, sweetie. I miss you.
I miss you more. And the line goes dead as he rushes off to talk to Lucian. At this point, at this point, you can start bringing Lewis downstairs if you want, Corvus.
He's just gonna go to the room. He's gonna. I'll grab some food later. I'll leave it with you in the room. If that's all right, Lewis.
As you're actually walking down past and mess with him, you do actually see him pause. As you know, the sense of Carrick cooking
is a lure.
And
also open spaces and not being locked in a little room probably appealing to him.
Do you want to have something now?
Not something that good. And if I can, I am.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Lewis steps into the room, but you can tell he pauses somewhat in the doorway and quickly looks around.
That's Gifton, Brockgren,
hand wave,
Greysteel, and Carrick, Mosk.
He quickly sort of bows his head towards the both of you, and then a little guiltily, Gifton looks at you and goes, "I'm sorry about him." And he sort of gestures at you as if collapsing against you and crying.
Gifton looks like she has no idea what he's apologizing about.
He's apologizing for Gifton. Just going, look, I'm sorry, you're you.
Oh.
He had no hand in him. He feels the need.
I'm sorry. There was no slight. Wait, was there a slight? Corvus, did I miss something?
No. Fine.
Okay.
And he slowly comes and sits down at the table. But he's looking about frequently, as if nervous about his surroundings, trying to keep track of where people are.
Gonna bring him over some food.
Okay, what does it make, Carrick?
First, we'll roll to see if it'll be anything good.
I'll laugh if this is a terrible roll.
It'll be a terrible character roll. It's only going to be a 19.
That's usually how it works. It's the first time.
Oh,
that works.
let's see.
I'm guessing there's potatoes and.
I'll tell you what. There's not just dried meat. There is I'm going to use the word canned, but you know what I mean. You could have made like hash browns with corned beef and such.
Do actually something I make here. Fry potatoes up with some. Well, actually, dried meat works a little bit better for it. But basically, fry potatoes, nice and crispy. The meat, mix them together, and it's nice because we have someone who hasn't eaten much in the way of good food, probably. So something that's both tasty and filling at the same time, since he hasn't had much to eat, it looks like.
Yeah,
I have some good berries too if you want, but I don't recommend eating more than one. Oh.
What happens if you eat like all of them?
Why are most of these gone? These are Chaldean.
Look over at the hunger fiend that is right next to her.
Dingus, look innocent.
Blueberry smear all over his face.
I'm making a side check on Dingus.
Dingus doesn't eat mummy's good berries. They're unsatisfying.
Yeah,
one berry, it's like meh.
He loves the experience of eating.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to just.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lewis will nervously, take a spoonful of this food, and then, but soon he's wolfing it down. Like this is clearly both better tasting, probably more nutritious and more filling than anything he's had in quite some time. Whether his prison food was always like this, or this is just recent development with the state of Hexenreich, don't know.
I mean,
Corvus,
we have been on Corvus. Probably.
Corvus, I did contact the back to base. Lucian and the Capes are being notified.
Good.
I don't know. Kara said he's going to try and get him on the radio in the next half hour.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming you're going to want
to let's
help with that.
Yeah, let's Lewis.
I'm gonna because I'm assuming I'm sitting at the table right now.
What Lewis wants to maybe do, or what he thinks be best, is I would just say maybe wait a day or two just so he can acclimate a bit.
Well, yeah, we'll get some meat on your bones, and maybe we can put together an outfit that doesn't make you look like a Hexenreich soldier.
He actually looks down briefly. It's like this might be like the first time he's actually really comprehending what he's wearing, and he actually scowls a little bit and quickly starts shrugging the jacket he's got off of himself.
Myself and Cassie are fairly good tailors. I can get something made for you tonight. I've got a bit of Aran wool I can do something with. Do you have a taste similar to your brother?
He's just gonna look at which outfit are you wearing right now, Corvus?
He's wearing probably the next one that Gifton made, which is kind of a sharp dressed one that's tight, like almost like the long coat kind of tightness around, with a vest underneath, slacks for pants.
It's all deep blues and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a dark muted colors.
Yeah.
How clean is it?
Very.
Yeah,
because he just started wearing this.
Yeah. He lets out a short, unpracticed laugh. Before I go, I've not thought about style in a while.
Would you prefer a simple tunic and some breeches? Something simple.
He nods a bit and just goes, I just wore decent, hard working clothes,
I get it.
Did you, did you continue being a blacksmith?
I tried, but, there were already quite a few where I was, and,
Yeah, her husband's a blacksmith, so she knows how to make blacksmith clothes.
Just anything you can, miss. I am.
Of course. Yeah, we'll get you something together.
The radio.
You're safe here.
Actually, goes off. You know that radio noise when it starts, something activates, and he jumps like
It's okay. Okay, it's okay.
And he looks like he's trying to hold the spoon like a knife.
Cora's just hand on the shoulder. It's all right.
Sorry.
I'll go over.
Sorry. More and more glad that gun wasn't loaded.
Pick up the receiver and give it a back and go. Hey, we're here.
And you hear Lucian's voice on the other end, going, Gifton, wonderful. I did a few quick sendings with my brother. Right, we'd like him brought to Dolfwood, if possible. We will put him up in his own house if he wishes. He's welcome to stay with us, but I understand that our relationship with his son, it might be awkward for him. So, but whatever he's more comfortable with, we will put him up and we will get him sorted. He should be close to Albrecht.
Yes, he definitely should be close to Albrecht, and we'll work everything out from there. Corvus wants to keep him here about a day or so. He's undernourished and he was badly treated, unfortunately.
Well, we will make sure he's well taken care of. Yes. Is there anything we should know? Any particular needs or cares? You say he's malnourished. How is he doing mentally?
I think he's a bit skittish.
Well, we will. Yes, perhaps we'll get him a building in some of the more quiet areas of town.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate your care.
Oh.
I think he would also prefer open spaces where he can. We'll see if we can set up a.
Perhaps outside the walls. One of the we could get him, rent him out a nice place.
Maybe over by the Ilin Temple, someplace over there.
Yes. Yes.
Some grass. Get some.
And
air.
Having a reliable priest nearby might not be a bad thing.
I'm still holding the frickin' button to talk. Do you have any preference on church to be near? Lewis?
Lewis just frowns a little and just says, "Just not near a Morgani church, please."
All right. Well, I've got a penchant for Ilin, so you might just be near that. Also, we know some very nice Talon priests that might want to help you through these hard times. Yeah, maybe we can get Father Turner involved.
Of course.
Just talking about my
in that case, you say a day or two. Well, I'll make sure.
Day or two. I'll check in tomorrow. Let you know how things are going and give you an ETA on arrival. But I believe Corvus will be handling all of that.
No, I'll make sure my brother's prepared within the day. And have Corvus take him directly into the Capet grounds, if you'd please.
I will do. Thank you again, Lucian.
Of course.
We owe your family so much.
Yes, you do. He says with a little smugness. And
all right, well, get back to work on my magic forge, you lazy mage.
So much. And you hear the connection go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's gonna have a house, I say. Clap my hands together. Sorted.
Lucian looks up when you say not Lucian. Lewis looks up when you say that. What?
We're getting you a house sorted in Dolwood near your son. You're gonna have a house.
He looks at you in confusion, then to Corvus. What do you mean a house? I can't pay for any.
Don't worry about that, Lewis. You get your feet on the ground, find something to do.
Your son's Rich.
How did you... And he actually puts the spoon down, and it looks like since coming out of there, like he was just riding on fumes of I'm out.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's finally starting to take in, I'm on an airship. How did you even get into me? And what is happening?
You are being rescued, I believe, and brought back to your son, who was a very important young man to me, and he wants you back very badly. And you're also quite important to him, who, despite his worst days, is still very important to me. So you're a pretty important person, young man.
Was that directed at me?
Yes, that was directed at you.
I'm putting a plate of food in front of Corvus now. And one in front of Gifted. Actually, two in front of Gifted.
What did you put in front of me?
Plate of food.
2 plates?
Dingus dives down and starts wolfing down. You could see him watching Lewis eat, but he was so quiet and respectful.
I've got my own set aside that I'm pretty sure Merrick is eating right now because I haven't touched it yet.
Merrick's literally eating off the spoon as Daddy cooks. He doesn't have to wait.
Lewis is
No, he doesn't get the food as I'm cooking.
Lewis is actually steadying his hands on the table, and you can actually see him swaying a little bit in his seat. This is.
How about we get you lay down?
Yeah, and
you're probably gonna want to also make some arrangements. Make sure your brother has some money.
Yeah, I'll see to.
Okay, good.
Callum would be so insulted right now.
What? What? The fact that I'm making Corvus leave some money to his goddamn brother. Callan's already going to be the hero in this situation.
Yeah, how dare you guys think that he would not cover such things as his grand generosity?
I know. It's probably going to happen anyway, but it's one of those things of at least he should have some money so that way he can dote on his son a little bit.
Okay. If you so please, you can escort him to his room, which he's clearly looking
sick.
Well, faint. He's crashing.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
The entire situation is unreal and overwhelming.
Gifton's room I always figured was like the more nice room, which was really like emasculating for Scrim because it's like she had really soft pillows, a nice quilted blankie with like pretty hearts and shit all over it. It's just a really just girly happy room. Gifton
I think this is also going to be one of the things that Lewis is going to get in there, and he's just going to sleep on the floor.
I just imagine
we're gonna carry him to the bed.
Step, thump.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining with Scrim. He goes to lay down. It's like the pillow's flat. Wait.
Okay.
He punched the pillow and made all the feathers come out.
But yeah, you get Lewis to the room and you get him settled in, which is he does crash out.
He crashes on the bed. I hope.
Yeah, I hope Corvus gets him arranged on the bed.
Yeah. Corvus will arrange him on the bed.
Yes. And you can either stay there with him or make your way back to the mess, whichever you so please.
He's going to do a tell day and probably for the night at least be in the hallway.
Okay. You can post yourself up in the hallway during the night. Then you can hear
stand there.
Strange noises coming from below in the hold. By the way. Yeah, there is sound of soaring, hammering. You poke your head down and you can see Cassie working.
Corvus will go to the mess to talk to Giffen.
Okay.
First.
Right, you head back to the mess. At this point, Echo will actually be entering the mess as well. Were you going with Tell Day?
Yeah, I guess I'll come here.
Yeah.
Hey, Echo, you gotta try some of this. It's pretty good.
Yes, I am hungry.
Here, I'll start sharing.
Did you feel the discomfort?
Yes.
I'm bringing up a moment. Oh. My hero goes, she's hungry. I'm actually already on the way over there with food.
So let's
Also, thank you, Echo.
Hmm?
You didn't just dive in the empty when you saw it.
I promised. And she's picking up a handful of the food, which I assume this is freshly hot cooked.
Echo, the forks and spoons again.
This one.
She looks at you, pausing with like her hand holding food midway to her mouth, and then just continues the motion, puts it into her mouth.
And I even got the good crab for now. We're not going that way. We're not getting shrimp.
Let's give him space, of course.
Oh, do you want me to? Okay, I'll go on deck then.
No, I mean with Lewis.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to go away.
No.
Oh, are you sure? Because now you really look like you want me to go away.
No, stay here. We need to talk about things.
I feel like I want to go away.
Corvus glowers.
Bad at communication.
Yes.
I'm right? That doesn't look like he wants me here, right?
No, he looks upset at himself.
Can we stay on one topic for...
I think I'm right.
A moment, please. I'm going to get Lewis back to the Capet house. But I don't know if everyone saw what was going on there, but he seemed regretful for leaving.
Yeah, he seemed...
I'm not sure how much he wants to talk about it so soon, but and we'll give him a day or two to maybe sort some things out on his own here. And then
if he can give us an idea of maybe the name of the place he was at.
The place, at least, yes.
Maybe we can check it out without having to pry at him too much, as it seems like your brother's having through kind of a hard time. But hey,
well,
how are you feeling? You got your brother back. That's pretty amazing. He's alive and he's back.
I'm processing that, and that is very good, and I'm happy and excited and scared and concerned.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine what that would be like. I mean, I don't even know any of mine, but I mean, you knew yours though, right? I mean, how long ago did you see each other last?
I left Wintercroft when I was 6. I haven't seen him since.
Oh, you were just a little baby.
I want him to get him back on his feet and to have a normal life without having to deal with anything going on in that place or having to deal with my father.
Want me to see if I can make arrangements for Billy and Adam to head up to Dulwood, maybe to help keep house with them?
I don't think at the moment that's a good idea, but that may be something that can get into.
I just know she's been a really good housekeeper for me, and her son's a sweetie, and they're a real joy to have around our household, and you know, I'm sure she'd be kind.
He's been in a place, he's been in a prison that he was not supposed to be in because he looked into what our father was doing.
He looked into it?
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't want to press that, and I don't want him to even think about anything to do with that anymore.
I mean, he should be fine now. I mean, the Hexenreich government's completely fractured and fallen apart. The gentleman's kind of exploded, so
until
safe, right?
Their necks are wrung by my hands, I will not be sitting easy with that.
I mean, You gotta take happiness where you can, though, while you can, because there's always going to be the next bad thing.
I'm currently still trying to fix the bad things in our family's life.
Corvus.
Yeah.
Echo holds out a handful of potatoes to you. Eating potatoes.
Yes, Echo.
This is good. This is happy.
It is.
Everybody loves
I would like you to be happy.
I'd like him to be happy too.
I like what she likes.
Can we? Yes. I want to be happy, okay? Don't get my demeanor in a state where I'm always perpetually at the brink of collapse. Because let's all put this in perspective again, please, because everyone seems to be forgetting this. It was 4 days ago. I'm still reeling from that, okay? I just got my brother back. I'm balancing two separate, very different emotions. I'm trying just to stay the line. I can't just flip a switch gift in and be a happy, cheery man.
You should heed your own advice. Perspective. Focus. You've got your brother back.
I know my brother back, and I am so happy for that. For him to actually be with his son again and everything working out. I am...
How many times has it been that something's happened to one of us? We have to somehow find a reason to keep going. And we do. I'm trying to help you by trying to help you find reasons to keep going. I'm trying to pull you out of just spiraling into the negative. That's all I want to do. I'm sorry that upsets you. But
I don't...
There were so many times I thought I wasn't gonna exist anymore. There were so many times that my fucking goddess sold out my entire fucking race. Okay? And I've had to sit here with that. She decided with her brother that, hey, you know what? I don't like how things are rolling. You know what we should do? Let's throw away all of my angels and kill everyone that I love because we'll set something up for somebody later. Maybe it'll work. No plans, no nothing. Just do it, okay? And that's what I get to carry. I get to carry that. I get to carry, oh, are you actually yourself? Are you just some sort of weird unremembering bit of Taniel that can't remember itself, and the moment you bring Taniel back, you're just gonna be gone? I mean, there have been so many times that everything's gone wrong. Fucking, what happened to Cassie? I still don't know. Did I mess that up? Was it me somehow? What did I do? And she acts like nothing happened back then. You want to keep going down negative, we can keep going down negative, and we can keep pulling each other apart, but that is not going to help anything. You know what's going to help something right now? Eating some good food, thinking about great things that can happen for Albrecht and your brother. Thinking about how this is going to make our world better and that we can plan for tomorrow. Because we can't change the past, but we can make a better future. Let's make something awesome. Let's try to stop going back to hurt people that hurt us all the time. Let's just make sure the people we love are safe and be happy. I don't get it. I mean, you want to go strangle the necks of every person that you'll have to try and dig the teeth out of the graves of so many poor dead Hexenreichers that don't know what the hell they're getting in trouble for because you're trying to find who wronged your family? I mean, At what point is it going to be okay? When are you going to be satisfied? And all those people are going to feel wronged by you. And then they're going to start coming after your family. And then you have even more people you have to plot against. Forgive a little. Be happy.
Eat.
I point his food
I'd
at
like
her.
to say, at this point, Cass has come wandering in, attracted by the smell of food.
Yeah, sure. You can wander on up. Arrive for a little after that. Yeah.
Dishing out food for Cass if she comes in.
Thank you, Carrick.
You're welcome.
Corvus is going to look at the plate of food.
No, Merrick, no, do not pull. Merrick runs over to stop the plate from being pulled off the counter. You can eat it on the counter. Please do not try to take it on the floor. You only have so many plates. Pick them back up.
Corvus is...
We have less plates.
Corvus is
not
going to look
sure
at
if it's
the plate of
him or
food.
Martin. I think it's
Put
Martin.
his hand in it. Grab a chunk. Just put it in his mouth.
Echo nods as if, yes, this is what happiness is.
Gift is going to follow
looking
suit.
at her plate, looking at Corvus.
Yeah, for some reason, your companions are eating like fucking animals, Cass.
Hey, two of them are.
Miss something?
Many things.
This is good.
Miss may be an inaccurate term.
We're celebrating.
Good luck, Merrick. Do you want me to go put your plate by your father?
I don't even know what to say.
Merrick's eyes narrow and he shakes his head rapidly.
Okay. So we'll keep it on the counter.
Doesn't want daddy near his food. He knows better.
I'm gonna pet his head a little bit.
Corvus starts to cry as he's shoving food in his mouth.
Oh, I broke him.
Seasoned with the tears of Corvus.
Echo's actually going to move herself closer to Corvus' side, and with one hand just sort of patting his back, she just goes, there, you have found the best thing.
The crying or the food? That is not being
his
said.
brother. Oh.
That's not going to say that. No. Not that bad.
Ernest, you have your family. Albrecht has a family. He's got you and his father. He's gonna be over the moon.
That might be dangerous.
Hey,
you were saying you don't want to be a lord. You could ditch it on your brother.
can we...
Positive things. This is positive.
Yes, positive. Very positive.
And we know of a place in Hexenreich that there's people that we might be able to rescue and help.
I
I'm in quick hit the reset button on Corvus. You broke.
I.
Oh no, he's turned into Alpha.
But is he also Omega?
Yes.
Oh, that is horrifying.
Yeah, but Echo is actually like sort of forced wide rictus grin, just going and looking at all of you is like, are we doing this?
Like doing a from nose to tail shudder at the grin, just like I don't need to see that.
I think she needs more teeth.
Just
Did you not give me enough teeth?
let's not dive into that conversation yet.
I thought I gave you a normal amount of teeth. It was
How would I fit
have.
more
I'm
in my
missing
mouth?
I'm missing one right here, and so are you.
Oh.
Right here. See?
Hmm.
We want to have one.
May I have another tooth?
How did Gifton lose a tooth?
So
this might be out of character in character because I don't know if it actually affects which way. So,
it was a hard winter.
You ate your tooth,
and we thought it was a nut.
That's not so much how you lost your tooth. That's just what you did with it afterwards.
It was a bit of metal.
How did the tooth come out of your mouth?
It broke up in pieces because it was iron.
You bit a piece of metal because you thought it was a nut.
You thought a piece of metal was... Oh, I see what's happened.
It was rusted. It tastes good.
Aren't you glad you didn't?
My face went all black and yucky for a bit.
Are you seeing? It's probably good. Are you glad that you didn't have Fae patients back then, Dr. Corvus?
Well, I still have one, and I'm still trying to figure out how to rectify the iron thing.
Oh, good. I was worried that you were going to say how you were going to rectify that, and I was worried.
No.
Well, isn't she like not a?
Iron doesn't seem to affect me anymore, so I don't know. It still feels bad. It feels real bad. It feels real bad.
Where am I going to put all my notes then about it?
You know, I'm not the only brownie that lives.
That's true.
She does have like 3 dozen children.
Oh God! If they step
that is a lot of children.
I think she's going to have more.
So I've been meaning to ask, if since putting a hand on her stomach, I'm pregnant with 2 gods right now.
Right.
So is this going to be like a brownie pregnancy?
I'm trying to be happy and not think.
Oh, but I thought babies were...
You can be happy.
Do you require large amounts of alcohol? That seems to help people with ceasing to think.
I would like that.
This part I'm curious about.
Oh my God! Why? No! Oh!
The whole creating more thing.
Oh!
Yeah. Well, Hea is the daughter of Hevos and Mairi. Yeah, and Lala's still left behind a spark of herself, and then Ilan.
No, I mean, what is it like to have little yous?
Oh, it's really kind of lovely.
Very cute.
That's an awful experience. The doing
Very
of
loud.
It. Actually, the making can be really fun. It's the end of the making that's bad.
Well, I mean, you do have Hea's help on that regard, Gifton. If I'm not mistaken.
But I'm only saying this from seeing other women scream. I had a really easy time comparatively, considering how many I had. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. You have like this kind of weird feeling of bond, and you kind of want to take care of them, and it's kind of great because it's like you see a bit of yourself in them, but they're like their own person, and you just kind of want to see them go and do things out in the world, and it's kind of like their accomplishments and their
like my brother and him.
Yeah. Corvus is kind of like the dreamer's baby.
Oh my.
Oh, I have a.
Also, you're kind of also in a way.
I suppose.
Because you're not actually the person that you're an echo of. You're an interpretation of that.
Yes.
So it was also made by the dreamer. So you're both basically siblings.
You are my brother.
To not mention that around Corvus's brother.
Let's keep Lewis not involved with these discussions, please.
Yeah, with everything going on, that might make things even worse.
I mean, if you think about it, though, in a kind of a contextual way, the gods say that the dreamer made them on accident or not on like conscious purpose. So the gods are also kind of made from stuff of the dreamer. And then if the gods made us, then we're all kind of like stuff of the dreamer. So I guess we're just all dreamer. All the way down.
How do you just go from one thing to the next without
quite easily?
It has boggled me since like the first days of introduction.
I don't understand what you're talking about. What? What are you mad about that we swapped?
I'm not mad about it. I'm actually just like amused of how quick. It just goes from one thing to the next. There's no ending. There's no. It just goes.
That's life. Life literally goes from one thing to the next.
But I'm still trying to process like the first hour of this conversation.
You haven't even been here for an hour. Put your hand.
Gifton just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had a chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic.
Gonna kind of pat.
I don't even know what I'm being accused of at this point.
Great, I'm gonna have that stuck in my head. Thanks.
But I mean, in a way, we're all kind of vaguely just massively connected on a grand scale if you think about it that way. So
I have spent far too many nights thinking about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. It's a different view of everything.
I think that's what's making this fun.
The new perspective?
The confusion of it.
Oh,
I mean,
is this supposed to be fun?
I'm enjoying myself.
I think if you knew everything all the time, you'd be kind of bored.
This is why we travel.
Corvus wouldn't be bored. Corvus would be very happy with himself if he knew everything about the place that he was in.
I do not know if it is possible.
For Corvus to be happy?
It is. That's the thing. It isn't possible, and that's the thing that keeps driving you and pushing you to new and better things. Each and every time you open a new book, it's new information. It's new excitements. It's new joys.
Would you teach me some new information?
When is the last time you experienced joys while opening a book? I have not seen that happen with you.
This is since Tarnstead, I guess.
What new sensations can we give you, Echo? It would be interesting.
I would like for him to tell me how to get rid of the food.
Oh my! So
that's a weight thing.
That's a weight thing. It takes some time. It's like an hour or two, depending on how much you eat and what you eat.
I was misunderstanding. You were saying the other kind of weight.
And it's going to be another one of those uncomfortable, awkward feelings that's going to come over you in kind of the lower abdomen area, and then...
Like the other feeling.
Like the other feeling, but instead of, like, having stuff given to you...
we're teaching her how to poop.
Yes, we're teaching her how to poop.
And it might be preceded by some rather uncomfortable and vile smells.
Yes, those will come out. It's your body processing it, and that process gives off byproducts.
It makes the plants grow.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I guess
it's
I
all
should
really
show you where the
cyclical
toilet
because when you eat things and then it goes back through you and it comes back out, it makes the plants grow better.
And then the animals eat the better healthy plants, and then the whole process goes over again.
Sometimes, if you think about it, we're mostly just eating poop and urine.
See, he still remembers renewal. It's just a funny way of going about it. Nothing ever ends.
I guess that is the sense of it, isn't it? It's just also the sense that, let's not... I'm not trying to think.
So if that's true, though, why is it that when something divine dies, it turns into a weird putrid mass that ends up in the pocket? What is it that makes it into that weird putrid mass?
You'd have to ask my brother's mind.
It just means something eating it.
I'm afraid I'm not that
is
part.
Actually visibly shuddering at the mention of the pocket.
Hot pocket.
Podgy, that is not a secret of the universe. It is a secret of my brother.
Oh. Okay.
secret of our universe.
Yeah.
That is true.
The only one that seems to maybe know anything about it that seems to be nothing but lies and mirrors is Mirrors. Because he's the one that told us all about it, supposedly.
I'm going to go look at the engine more. And she actually just stands straight up and starts to walk on out.
I'm going to just wait by Lewis's door for the evening, just in case he gets up for any reason. I am going to follow Echo because there's going to be poop coming soon in a couple hours, so that's going to be a thing.
Are you volunteering to clean it?
I
am a doctor.
You did take her from the vault, so she is your responsibility.
She's not a pet, as he says, leaving.
No, she's your lover.
Your lover sister.
That's a better one than what I was going to say, but
he's gone.
As Corvus walks out, Martin walks on in, waves at you. Hey, banditos, and is heading over to the stovetop.
I like to imagine there's finger guns involving with that.
No, just a wave.
That has not been my job.
What is he doing over by the stove?
Well, you did to be pens.
I cleaned them.
You got rid of the good stuff. It took me ages.
It took you ages on the stove.
Have you never heard of seasoning?
The problem was they were the actual seasonings, including garlic, stuck permanently on the pan. I had to
got rid of all of the flavour, and he's actually just going through the pantries now as if he's going to prepare something himself.
I hand him a plate of food.
He looks at the plate of food, picks a bit off of it, puts it in his mouth, and just shakes his head. Ain't much flavour there. I've got some good stuff for that.
I'm gonna go over to the door of the mess and yell, "Aldi! Carrot cooked food!" I'm assuming there's gonna be.
Yeah, there is the rapid.
I think I need the feeble mind.
I think that might be the entire crew piling down.
I think I need the feeble mind spell for Martin.
That won't work.
No, it will, because then he can't talk. I don't think.
Martin basically adds a strange sauce to his plate that he seems to have made himself. By look and scent of it, you think it's made up of a bunch of those of Saharan spices just mixed up in some paste.
And he's been keeping it in a jar
on
the second shelf, uncovered.
And he just lathers that onto the food, and it's like, yeah, now it tastes good.
The blue fluffy stuff on top is the best part. It's got that crunch.
To it, does it speak to me? Literally.
Soon, perhaps.
He pulls it down, and it's like, Daddy.
Yeah, most of the crew appears. Scarlet eats and then goes and relieves Idris at the helm so that they can come eat. And yeah, unless people need to do something, the rest of the night will go by uneventfully.
Nope, I'm just going to start sewing up an outfit for Lewis, and Gifton's gonna spend some time kind of at her nest, just kind of patting her tummy and singing to her babies.
Dingus will join in singing. No, you're building the shack.
I thought my shack was already built.
No, it's not already built.
You're in the progress of it.
Yeah.
It's only been like maybe an hour.
See, outfits take literally part of a rest. Shacks take time.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes at least 9 months.
Okay.
You said shacks. I'm sorry, I couldn't skip that.
So we're going forward in time?
Yep. The next day rolls around, and I'm sure Lewis would have woken in that time. Corvus, his hours are a bit offset from the ones you're all keeping because there's a slight, continental drift of time.
Jet lag.
Basically. But if I'm sure when he wakes, you can sort of spend some time breaking down to him, like, where are you gonna go? Good people waiting for you. It's a few hours after that, Gifton, not too long after you've woken, that you hear the actually, yeah, most of you would be in the mess having breakfast, I think, and I think the radio was there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, most of you in the mess eating. Lewis is a little quiet, still a little twitchy, still keeping his eyes around him, but he seems to have relaxed a little bit. But the radio chimes, and you just hear Lucian's voice going, "Hello, hello, hello,
Hey,
hello,
Lucian.
hello." Oh, I better let go of the button.
Lucian.
Gifton. Right, my brother has things sorted out. So we are ready whenever he's ready. You know.
All right, Corvus, you and Lewis have figured it out.
Are you comfortable with maybe getting onto better roads?
He takes in a deep breath, and still
Gonna get as far away from Hexenreich as you can.
That makes him nod, standing up, and for a brief moment he is pocketing bread and such that's on the table, as if not even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone calling attention to it, or you're just gonna let him do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him do it.
Let him do it.
Okay. Yeah. And he stuffs away some bread real quick before.
Hey, Carrot, can you pack a little to-go bag?
Sure. Carrick's gonna do up a little.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out one of my bottles of wine and hold it out to him. There you go.
Wow. Thank you.
It's not fancy. I don't like the fancy stuff as much. You know, something good of cheap wine, you know?
Thank you for the clothes and the wine and rescuing me.
That's all your brother.
And he looks over to you, Corvus, and smiles a little bit and goes, I always thought you'd grow up to do great things. Thank you.
So
brave adventurer.
Well, that's it's a busy life, and there will be plenty of time to go into all the details. But let's get you to a more familiar and comfortable arrangement first.
He just nods a little bit, and sort of moves over beside you.
So again, hold on to me and keep your eyes closed, please.
I will.
All right. I'll be back shortly.
Bye. It was nice to meet you, Lewis.
It was nice meeting you as well, and
You give your boy a hug for me.
There's a look of nervousness on his face as he nods in reply to that.
And you tell him he better be nice to my little lady.
He looks confused for a moment.
Oh, the Capes have a little daughter, Melina. He's growing up alongside. I think she's sweet on him.
Thank you again, and he looks like he's pondering saying something. Before he just shakes his head. I'm ready.
All right. Be back. And Corvus will proceed.
Okay. You and Lewis step into the empty and travel on through to Dolphwood, emerging in the courtyard of the Capet household, where Gifton, you hear on the radio, Lucian just going, so let us know when he's coming through.
They're already there.
Grand, I'm going to send my brother a message real quick.
Bye.
This,
Does he not expect this? He's a magic boy. He understands how teleportation works.
Yeah.
Bullshit's just done.
Which thankfully the guards don't seem to react with alarm, as if they were told that somebody would be appearing at some point.
Just ignore the weird black gash that goes through all of reality.
Which Corvus, you actually get a couple of acknowledging nods. You know, you did the Capes Postal Adventurers. But soon enough, the door opens and Callan comes rushing out, sort of pulling on his jacket as he does. And he goes, "Oh, Corvus, I was not aware you were arriving at this moment."
It's very quick.
Yes, and you are Lewis, I presume. And Lewis just nods, still taking in his surroundings more than the man approaching. But he actually steps back a little bit as Callan comes up close to, give him a handshake. Which makes Callan come up short, and he just, nods a little and lowers his hand. Please, welcome to my home. We're going to get you sorted here, and it's a genuine pleasure to meet you.
I'll be leaving some funds for Lewis as well. So.
It's not necessary. We'll take care of him, I promise you.
I will feel better just doing that for him.
As you please, Lord Adalas.
Lord Adalas.
Lewis, this is Lord Callan Capet.
Just Callan, please. Nice to meet you.
Let's can we discuss things inside?
Please, have you had breakfast?
Yes, we
perhaps a light tea then. And he'll lead you back on in, where you...
Such a culture shock to your brother.
Yeah.
Basically going from cells to, I'm on a pirate ship.
There is...
Whoa, I'm in a fancy house.
Clearly overwhelmed, even though Callan's trying to be delicate. Callan's idea of what is overwhelming is clearly misaligned here, because he's used to this stuff. But yes, you are able to settle down with Callan and Lewis, and essentially get Lewis and become informed yourself of what's happening, what's going on. You know, it's okay, it's safe here. You're going to have a home. You and Albrecht, you're going to meet and you're going to be able to talk. Think it's a good idea to do it here on the grounds first, but your son has been informed and he's eager to see you. And this is just the gentle steps of getting you settled first.
Corvus is going to take Callan over for a second. Just so Lewis has a moment just to chill. Yep. There is some concerns concerning Hexenreich, where he came from.
What do you mean?
He was in a prison. Prison that he was not of any right to be in. And it seems like there were maybe some things that were left behind. In time, it's going to take us a few days to get to Hexenreich, and probably more to start going into things, but you can gently just let us know what place is, where it's located, and if there's anything that we need to particularly look for to maybe ease some of the conscience of Lewis.
Yeah.
But again, gentle. He just came from there.
Of course. My uncle was a troubled man after the border wars. My family's no stranger to dealing with upset. I can see about getting him some help. There are priests that are good for this sort of thing, that specialize.
As we mentioned to Lucian, open areas, probably the Ilan Temple. And
yes, the father there is a good man. It'd be good to have him nearby, but I mean more practiced help.
Yes, that too. Don't push it, though.
Of course.
Suggest it and
a gentle hand.
Like gentle. Actually, I got this arranged yesterday before we left. It's a bag of gold. Set up a bank account, I guess. I don't want him just to keep this on hand.
We will make sure he is settled, and we're not going to just let him wander off, but we'll make sure that he is prepared to be self-sufficient if that's what he wants.
We didn't talk much because, again, everything, but he trained to be a blacksmith, and maybe that's something that can maybe help get him back into things. He was very good at it from my knowledge as a child, but I don't know how the years went. He said he didn't have much work.
You were 6. How old was your brother when you parted?
12-ish. He was apprentice.
Probably he would have been starting as apprentice. So.
Yeah, he would have been starting. And that's what Corvus only really knows, is that
he's good. Cullen actually just reaches his hand out and gives his shoulder a little squeeze and goes, "Don't worry, it'll be okay."
I'm just trying to make up for everything. Thank you so much for everything, Albert.
Honestly, this is for Albrecht. We're going to make this work.
I'm not supposed. I can be back at any time, so I'm just gonna hang out around here, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you would both like, he says, sort of like, heightening his voice a little bit to sort of bring Lewis back into this from his own silent reprieve. We can go see the building that we have acquired for you. And with that, you'll go on a quiet walk. And he does seem to try to keep to some of the quieter streets, a little guard presence staying a little further behind. He does lead you out to what was the refugee area. No, wait, that was the northern. Out near Father Ted. And it's a very simple little building. Just a single story, house, but it's well cared for. It's looks like it's a recent build.
Well, it's not near Father Ted, it's near that other lady, because Father Ted's up in Wyndon.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
It's whatever the lady is. It's like,
I know what the locations of my setting are. I'm cognizant.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember where everything is.
Waste time.
It's Sister
So
Gardner,
you get taken out by near an area that is still incredibly overgrown.
Just saying, they're doing an exchange program.
It's not so wild and untamed anymore, but it is like incredibly flowery in this area.
Right. This is. Oh.
I asked an Ellen Angel to help me with this problem. They betrayed me.
It has been helped.
Yeah, that's why it's still overflowed. That's why it's still overgrown. Angel was like, "No, this is good."
And you can spend a few hours there if you want, just getting your brother settled in. Which it is stressed to him that he doesn't have to stay here. He's welcome at the manor as well, or if he wants to split his time, that's fine. Yes. Back on the airship, the day goes by uneventfully. Cassie and Shaxon, you are still working away at your projects.
Yep.
And it's at that point that the internal comms go off the little horn, and you hear Scarlet's voice going, "Can one of you come on up to the deck, please?"
Cass will start heading up.
Tara should head up because
you're all in different areas. I mean,
yeah,
I have nothing to do. I'm gonna go up on deck with Dingus.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Everybody go on deck.
All of us up there.
All of us on deck.
All of us assuming no one else is going.
The whole ship sinks because of the desperation of waiting on one point.
Mm-hmm.
As
roughly in the middle.
As you all come on up,
I just asked for one.
She doesn't actually look particularly surprised by this turn of events, you know.
She didn't call for any particular one of us, so
exactly.
What you're gonna get.
As you're coming up, you can actually hear something coming from the console she's operating, sort of static interspersed with like choppy hexameric words, and basically, you know, her own fucking long-range comm units that the ship has for picking up. Well, I say long-range, short range compared to your own transmitter, but local band essentially. Not to you as you come out and been picking up something intermittently. I think it's coming over relays around the area, and she sort of gestures about.
What is it?
I don't speak Hexenreich.
Me neither.
And
I do.
I'll still go over to. We've got something this is coming off of, right?
Yes, yeah, it is. It's essentially her own.
Jack will go over and start listening to it.
It's very choppy. If you would like, you can go ahead and make a. You have all of the tools, so a proficiency intelligence check to try and bring this through clear out the signal. Yep. Oh, very nice. Okay. So at first it comes through too hard to understand. But eventually, after a couple of minutes of tinkering, you get it to come through clear enough to make out. There's still the occasional drop, the choppiness, the overlaying hiss of static. But you can make out a male Hexenreich voice saying, "This is Base Commander Gerlich Eichel. Any friendly forces, please respond. There is a massing of the afflicted. They have launched strikes already. We have civilians. Please, anyone respond. Again, this is Space Commander Gerlich Eichel. Please respond. We have civilians here." And then the exact same message repeats.
Just as we look back at the group and just relay exactly that. Like, it's a general calling for any friendly forces. They have civilians. They're being attacked by what they call afflicted. Assumed.
Can you respond to them on that band?
Can see. Am I able to reply?
You can certainly try.
You want me to make another roll to try and see if I can get through?
Yes. Basically, it will need another roll because this is supposed to be short-range communication between various airships in the area. You're going to have to hop onto the transmitters this is coming from.
Okay.
I have a question.
Beautiful.
I'm hearing the man's voice, even if I don't understand it, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to cast tongues on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use wish, and then I'm going to cast message.
Wow.
Jeez.
Break the universe again, Gifton.
What?
For the simplest of spells.
Once again, Gifton wants to crack open a nut, so she drops a nuke.
All right. This is happening at essentially the same time, but I'll deal with you both separately, of course, just because I'm not an omnipotent being.
Well, I just realized that if we were having trouble with the signal on our end, they might have a hard time getting our signal on their
That
end.
is what I was going to address. So, Shaxton, you believe you're actually on the same bet. You've like hopped into the relay towers that is going to send this. What are you going to say?
This is the Forge Hammer. We are attempting to find your location. Please tell us. We are a friendly force. We can help you get the civilians out.
Okay. As you say that, Gifton, what is your message?
Saying it in accent, right?
Oh, I actually would have had to cast Wish to cast Tongues, just to be clear. So I did that too.
Okay. So you've used 2 wish spells.
Are you sure you don't want it to be sending over message? Because message has 120 feet as range.
Well, I mean sending. I'm sending a message with the sending spell.
Okay, you said cast.
I actually didn't know message was a spell. Okay.
Message is a cantrip.
That's why we were sitting there going,
I don't
why?
cast. Yeah. Wait. I'm brute forcing this motherfucker. Okay. This is general. All right. Let me write this.
Also, you actually understand what Shaxton's saying now that you've got tongues on.
General Greysteel. Coordinates. Friendly Barassian military inbound with airship. How many civilians?
Okay.
And that should be it.
Telling him the whole "we are from Brass" thing right now, because that's probably gonna scare the shit out of him. But sure.
Okay. So what you hear from the other side is for Shaxton. Once you send your message through, is you hear in text like, say again, you're not coming through clearly. Say again, repeat, and then sort of yelling off to the side as he's yelling at somebody to try and clear out the signal. And then there's a pause, and Gifton, you hear, welcome to our shores, Darmstadt base outside of Partenkirchen. And he gives you coordinates.
Right, I'm gonna
we have 40 civilians in the base.
Relaying coordinates to Shaxan and the location. I just got sending to them that was able to reach. Telde, are you also able to communicate with them via sending?
That's sending required familiarity.
Well, I was asking. That's why I specifically asked if me listening, hearing their voice, and knowing the name would give me familiarity.
Yeah, I'm saying that's enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in that case.
That's what I prefaced it with before I started casting spells.
Sorry, I gotta reconfirm. How long has it been? Is this the second day since the prison escape?
This is the day after.
The day after.
Yeah.
The day after.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure my spell slots are reset and everything.
They are indeed.
Yes, I had to check that. Your spell slots are back.
Yep. So yes, I am able to.
All right, good. They have 40 civilians. Scarlet, what's our location?
I cannot contact.
She's she'll give you your current coordinates as best she can. I need a map to double check, but we're about 8 hours out.
All right. Telde, if you could relay, we are about 8 hours out on the way to him. General Greysteel is currently out of spell slots for using for that. I'm saving. I always save one wish. You always save one wish. So I'll just be like, if you can relay, you're part of General Greysteel's contingent, and that we are 8 hours out on the way there. Shit. I don't know if they know of any tricks to get there quicker, we'd do it.
I will not convey that latter part.
Are you going to convey the rest of it?
Yeah, I will convey. This is Telde speaking on behalf of General Greysteel. I am your new contact for the moment. We are about 8 hours away, but on the way.
What was that? Wow.
I did not actually count.
I think that was about 25, actually.
Yeah, freeze. We're going to say that was 25.
Yeah, I should
I
be
hear counting on
under,
mine.
but yeah.
Yeah. I sat here counting on mine, going finger, 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 finger.
Yeah.
You will get a reply of saying 8 hours. We can hold. We will hold.
All right, Scarlet, all speed. Give me everything she's got.
Right. She's gonna hit the ship into Horn, and just go get the engines running better than they ever have. Right. Get him going, Claude. Jackson, you go down. Get him. Give him a hand.
Can do.
And she's adjusting course.
Stand up and head downstairs.
And going full
Is it
throttle.
possible to lighten the load in order to improve our speed?
Maybe if we made the ship out of wood instead of metal.
She actually shakes her head and goes, the magic that keeps things aloft negates the mass anyway. Wouldn't help.
Sorry, Cass. I tried.
We're gonna need all those supplies to help the freaking.
Unfortunately, if it were made of wood, it would just start splitting apart in all this speed.
Someone care to tell me what the second was just discussed?
They are being assaulted by the afflicted. About 8 hours that way.
Afflicted. I'm assuming that's the Morgani crazies.
Yeah. Actually, with Windwalk, can we go faster than the ship?
We still need the ship to get them out.
Yeah, but we can help defend while we're waiting for the ship. That's what I was thinking.
True.
I'm not thinking about.
You don't know how to get there, though.
We would need to leave at least one of us here for contact.
Are you bringing that up in?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I think Windwalk, we
Scarlett's
might be able to get there in time.
Scarlett's gonna look at you sidelong and goes, "If I can offer my opinion, if this were one of those good old military operations that I'm used to, we don't know what we're heading into. We don't know what forces we're going to meet in between.
You want the defense on the ship?
You can't lose the airship.
Mm-hmm.
At most, we could send one scav then.
Yeah.
To assess and report back.
She nods. It's risky in itself, but yes.
Corvus, do you think you could go there?
Sure.
Corvus isn't here.
Here.
Right.
I can do it.
Do you have any way of contacting us?
I got a wish spell in the kitty, and I got a big brother that's really fond of me.
I'd advise against it.
For now, we'll hold off on that.
I have to agree. Going in piecemeal is not a good idea.
They're a military base. They should be able to hold while we're traveling.
And the fact that they now know someone is coming means they're going to probably fight harder to hold out.
And Gifton is the general. She should not be used as a scout.
At the same time,
I thought I should be making my own damn decisions. I'm the general.
Well, your word is the final one.
Yeah, but who has to tell Thomas that you got yourself killed by rushing in?
Not my problem.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he would go into the afterlife to hunt you down and bring you back so he could court-martial you.
Nah.
I am fairly sure that we would accompany Care back into your heaven in order to have him scold you.
Oh, the spankings. Got it. All right. You're not making this sound very much like a no.
Also, you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm keeping in mind right now. Shit. Is there any way to speed this ship up? I'm
Can we
gonna
take a ship through the empty?
start praying to anybody that would hear me.
Speaking of speeding the ship up, praying to anybody that would hear you?
Anyone.
Just general praying?
Generally praying.
Well, you can You can give me a religion roll, but I'm afraid that going, hey, whoever is interested, please help, doesn't really ingratiate to the gods much.
No, I'm not necessarily targeting gods.
She's going after the better people.
I was hoping for more reliable people. Angels.
Okay. Shaxton.
Actually, I'm gonna pray to Ilan for the speed.
Okay. Shaxton.
Yes.
Can you go ahead and give me another all-purpose tool roll, please? For working on the ship engines, trying to get some extra out of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm also going to bump that to being a 37.
37. Okay. You could pump extra juice into this. You can reduce your travel time by an hour safely. You can reduce the travel time by 2 hours with a risk of the ship's engines basically suffering damage and slowing down after the fact.
So Oregon
theoretically repairable. I'm gonna go for the risky one.
You're gonna go for the risky one. Okay. Yep. Right. So yes, you and Claude go to work, basically disengaging a few safeties and forcing the engines to run at more than they're rated for. Far more, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
There is a actual visible uptick in speed on the airship as it surges forwards.
Gifted nods praying worked.
Yes, you feel like the prayers worked.
Praise be the engineers.
Anyone contacting Corvus to bring him home?
We actually can't reach him where he's at because the radio goes to Lucian.
Mm-hmm.
And before anything made a decision, and this is for you, in 5 hours, Corvus was going to return.
I can also just contact him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has a pearl. He can literally contact me.
Well, I didn't know if that worked outside.
It will not work out for the Hexamite borders. Remember, the radio you are carrying.
Right, the borders.
That's why the sendings and all that shit doesn't work outside the borders from here.
Yeah, that's why that your radio unit you have is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. I'll send a sending. What we need to do is post somebody right on the Hexenreich border.
So relay.
Sending, and they can
5 feet
run
one way,
like
5 feet the
20
other.
feet. Yeah.
They gotta swim like 30 feet out into the ocean and then cast it there.
They're on a
nice long yacht.
Yeah, they're on a big boat.
You're like a day out on the ocean when it started kicking in.
Yeah, a nice long yacht.
Right. In that case, unless anyone wants to try using the radio to contact Lucian to send a sending to Corvus.
Well, at some point, I think that will probably happen just because we're going to realize, well, it's about 2 hours in. We give him some time because we know it's 8 hours.
In that case, about 2 hours into your trip, Corvus, Lucian is actually going to contact you, just saying, Corvus, something about refugees in a military base. They need you back at the ship.
Okay. I will depart shortly.
And Lucian will then relay through the radio. Yep, he's on his way. Right. And after sort of wrapping things up with Lewis and making sure that he's left in good hands, you can
give him a bag of 4,000 gold.
Right, you give him some vast amounts of riches and promptly leave. You arrive back on the airship's deck and are actually staggered briefly just by the wind whipping around you. There is actually a smell of sort of ozone in the air, just from the energy output the magical engines on the ship are putting out. Yes, the ship is clearly moving at some speed. Towdy has actually started trying to assist with mechanics because there are systems that are starting to fry themselves in this journey.
Small cobalt.
Yes, small cobalt.
Mm-hmm.
Shekton, I would like another all-purpose tool roll, please.
Okie doke.
Advantage because of Towdy.
She gives you a wrench. Or she holds the light.
Very nice. Right.
He holds the light while Shekton makes big squares.
Did you say big swears?
Yep, you are keeping this underhand. However, it is becoming increasingly clear that this will not last, and the ship is going to spend some time leaping, even with being able to repair it after the fact.
Gonna keep what's doing because they can save people. That's the important thing right now.
Okay. Right.
Even if it takes time, repairs are repairs.
Is there anything people want to be doing during the journey?
I'm ready for a fight.
Double checking the stores, getting everything ready. Double checking our good berry amount, which we've got about like 40 good berries, so we're doing pretty good there. Because I just usually dump all my spells into that every night now. Making sure Dingus is all geared up, put my armor on, make sure everybody's got armor on.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's basically making sure they're prepared and equipped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
What time is it again?
Windwalk on the party when we are approximately 2 hours out.
At this point in the day, it's around mid-afternoon. In your journey.
Okay.
But if there's nothing,
I was essentially considering whether or not to wear goggles of night. So
your ETA nightfall should be starting when you arrive.
Okay. Yeah, in that case. I'll make sure I'm wearing those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. In that case, the airship continues chopping along. You hear sounds before you spot anything. In the distance, you hear what sounds like cannon fire. Some much heavier weaponry, which is concerning. And as the night begins to come along, as your journey increases, you also begin to see lights in the sky. Streaks, flame, lightning, and then just the general trails of heated munition. And before long, you can hear a cacophony of sound. There is the din of massed soldiers making noise. You hear draconic roars. Noticeably, early into the journey, the radio communications seem to stop coming through. And it's not as if they were cut off by death or anything, it's just there was a clear sound of interference. And you soon see, as the engines groan and sputter, Jackson, at this point, you'll probably want to cut them back to a safe idling speed.
Yeah, he'll cut the engines back and re-engage safeties, that sort of thing.
At this point, those of you that can see well during the night,
I can see amazingly well.
Yes, I think a lot of people have true sight now.
Well, I have true sight. I have the warlock thing, and I have the goggles of night.
Also, I am going to say that your ship does have spotlighting if you want to use it, but of course that has its own risks. Of here's a big light.
I mean,
And somebody's going to start performing.
I mean, we're showing up at all speed with a big airship armed to the teeth.
We just came out of warp drive.
Yeah, but considering their own lighting in their camps and what their soldiers are carrying, actually most of you, even you, Cass, can see it. It's just everyone else makes out far more details. You can see a base. It's a large fort-like structure, perhaps 80 feet across on each wall, 4 walls.
Everybody but Corvus can see it.
Yeah.
Or 60 feet and stops.
120, mind you.
Yeah, whatever.
The walls are good 80 feet to each side, 4 walls surrounding what it looks like to be a building. It's essentially a large set of walls protecting a small compound within. You can see soldiers up on the walls firing at an army. You'd estimate probably a good 500 strong, just through men alone. Only there is more than that. You can see a large airship, like one of the larger ones back home you've seen, clearly a capital ship, positioned over the base, its shields flaring as they're impacted by shells and magic being launched from both below, and 2 smaller airships that seem to be trying to maneuver past it to fire on the base itself.
The airships are assaulting the base?
There are 2 small airships assaulting a large airship that is above the base and trying to assault the base itself.
Okay. The large ones attacking the small ones are. Got it.
No, the small ones are attacking.
Yes.
The large one seems to be defending.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The small ones are from enemy. The large ones is there.
The hulls of the smaller airships are decorated with a now familiar patterning to you all, spatters of white paint emulating Starscape. And you can also see dragons in the air being attacked by what looks like to be Goa Magia flying about in their apparatus, and there's clearly both enemy and friendly, though it's hard to tell who's on what side right now with the interlocked aerial combat. The forces on the ground are busy entrenching, but there's clearly a suicidally reckless charge that is happening from a few of them, as there are just corpses littered in front of the base itself, where soldiers have run towards it with no defense or thought to surviving. And there are enemy soldiers now taking cover behind fallen comrades. Not only that, you can see artillery set up back across the field, large cannons that are firing, and it seems the airship is taking the brunt of those charges. You can also see the flicker of its shields are actually extended out towards the base below it, which is clearly, for those that have any mechanical knowledge, so Shaxton in particular, you know that is going to weaken the shields dramatically, and there's already damage to the large airship. You can see fires, you can see holes, rent metal.
Shields?
What was that, Marcus?
Do we have shields, or is this a Hexenreich?
You don't have shields.
We don't have weapons or shields, really.
Wow.
No, we have
you have weapons that you basically aftermarketed.
Yeah, we have weapons we basically stole from a place and installed.
Not only that, you can see the massive soldiers. There are clearly spellcasters down there, as occasionally you see dances of lightning, fire, acid being launched from near the back lines. And you can hear chanting as a almost religious fervor offering up praise to Morgani and the stars creates a din of sound in the air.
Focus on saving their airship. We get it back control of the skies.
Sounds good. Corpus?
Yep.
Want to go take an airship?
Well, I am the arbiter of magic, so why don't we just bring down an airship?
Dingus.
Oh no, I had a better idea. We hijack the thing. Someone keeps the rest of the crew below deck, and we turn the thing towards the other one.
Dingus meeps at you, Gitten.
Good luck.
I pointed at the crowd making a lot of noise. Let's go make them understand better music than that.
Though, again, let's go off the philosophy of not just splitting up everywhere, but I don't know what's the best options here.
At that point, the radio on the console is actually going to start sparking again, very, very cutty, even more staticky than it was before, as if trying to cut through interference. But there is sound coming from it.
I can't understand it anymore. Tongues wore off hours ago.
Oh, Carrick will grab it. Hello? In Right, because I'm not even gonna try right now.
It's nothing understandable. No clarity to it.
Is there
It's just static.
any way to like try to adjust?
You can. You saw Shaxton doing it earlier.
We should be focusing on getting those civilians evac'd out.
Shax, how do you adjust this thing that's kind of just static-y sound blurps?
Would I have had time to come from below deck by now?
Oh, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For use that check, so I'm just gonna go over and fucking adjust it. Can I do that and getting Carrick's help and basically showing him a
Do it with advantage if you want. Yeah, at this range, you are able to cut through the interference, and you hear, "This is Captain Hedderbrough. Please identify."
Is the Barassian ship that contacted you earlier?
Watchhammer, land yourselves in the courtyard. We will cover you. Please get the civilians on board.
Can do. He wants us to land in the courtyard. They're going to provide us cover so we can get the civilians out.
All right, you hear him, Scarlet. Take us down.
Scarlet is already basically obeying the command ahead of time, wheeling the ship around and moving at full steam. It does not go unnoticed. You see one of the smaller airships breaking off its assault on the capital ship and starting to move towards you all.
Merrick, it's time to go to the room. I want you to get hurt, and I'm gonna.
The Merrick
Send
to
them
his safety.
Yep.
Gibson's gonna look around briefly and say, "Echo, stay safe. Watch out. Keep the little feather thing on you."
Small question.
Mhm.
How far away, like straight line, horizontal, would you figure one of the cannons they're firing on the big airship is?
Like
That's within-
distance from you to that cannon.
Yeah, like not to just like direct touch, like basically to be above it.
Be above it. Oh, what, one of the ground cannons?
Yeah.
One of the ground cannons is probably a good 500 feet back on the battlefield.
Okay, dang.
How
Yeah.
far is
Which is
idea,
actually fairly close for that type of munition.
Mhm.
That's like
how far is the
The airship's that's approaching you right now.
mhm.
That is a good 150 feet. But it is closing rapidly. Within a few seconds, that'll be 80 feet, and so on.
Yeah,
How far?
150 feet.
We could attack.
Yeah, if you want to strike.
I'm gonna make
actually hitting the railing, dropping into a shooter's position, and she's going to try and put a hole in their pilot.
There is no visible pilot. These are.
Oh, these are military. They're buried inside. Is there anything vital
Are
on
we-
the outside? Probably not.
Trying to
nothing visible, and I don't think you know enough about airships to.
And again, these are Hexarite ships.
Yeah.
They have shields.
These Shaxton, at the very least, would know that the smaller ships, while they might have some shielding, it's not guaranteed because that is expensive, and it will be weaker than the capital ship shield system.
The question I have is, would it stop things from, say, appearing on their deck?
Not unless they actually have some mage offering defense there.
Okay, the minute it gets within 90 feet, they're gonna get fucking golem on their deck.
Okay. They don't so much have an upper deck. There is a flattish area where the crew can come out, but like everything, all of its controls and such are internal. But you can make the golem appear on the deck and try and get its way in if you want.
Pretty much, I'm just double checking for one thing. It is going to be, for once, the metal one, because it does heat damage all around it constant.
Right. What would other people like to do? What about you, Gifton?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hurl myself over the railing. I'm going.
Don't end it.
Angel. Huh? I'm ending it all. It's over. I'm as soon as I hurl over the railing, I'm going the angel mode.
Okay.
And
Dingus dragoning along with you.
Yeah, Dingus is going along with me, and Gifton is cranking up thaumaturgy ×3 and starting to sing real loud.
Okay.
I'm
You
guessing
had
that
to
is
throw
a.
yourself off in a deadly manner before you switched, rather than
Listen, it's
I mean,
cooler
she
if you're
can fly
falling when
normally
you
anyway.
transform.
I actually wanted to drop a bunch of feet away from the airship before I made a big light, is what I was thinking.
Okay, what about you,
sorry,
Carrick?
Blackheart.
But I did say the thing to Echo before I got off the ship, because I'm worried about Echo trying to get involved.
You know, we haven't actually. Give me 1 second, just because it's been a while since I've actually used this level. I want to make sure my restriction.
My angel mode's wearing a general a brass uniform. It's great.
6th level or higher are restricted. Okay. Well, Carrick's, once they're within 120 feet, Carrick's actually going to cast a acid fireball.
Okay. Very nice.
Singing a really bouncy, hopeful song. Really obnoxious in this situation.
Okay. So Carrick's doing that. What about you, Cassie?
Just a quick question on spell casting.
Mhm.
If the spell says I pick a point, do I have to be able to see that point?
Technically not. If it says you pick a point within your visuals, but it's spell dependent. Basically, use logic.
Yeah.
Most
I'm
spells
being
cannot be
very
cast
interested.
through walls. There's just a few exceptions.
Yeah, if you don't know what's on the other side of the wall, then there's no way you can guess what's there.
Okay, so that sleep spell won't work. I will assume.
Sleep is an area of effect spell, so
Yeah,
if you
I-
can see a point,
Area of effect spells still obey line of sight.
wall rules.
Yeah.
They also don't penetrate walls. I think they go around them.
Yeah, unless there's something special that says otherwise.
There's not a lot I can do because if I can't see them, I can't shoot them, and I can't put them to sleep. So
There are ground forces.
Yeah.
There are go imagery in the air.
are they ours in air quotes or theirs?
I said there are both. There is clear combat going on between two forces in the air. I would need a check just to try and pick out any defining marks to try and mark enemy from foe. Enemy from foe, friend from foe.
Look for the ones with the cloaks with the weird sparkles on them.
I'm going to try and do a perception to see if I can spot them.
Go for it. Very nice. Not only can you pick out one immediately, you start to quickly pick out the defining features as they sip around. You're pretty confident you know which ones are unfriendly.
How far away would you say they are?
They are... Well, it varies. Some are good 120, some are further out, and they move in and out. We're using slightly cinematic rather than combat rules here, so I'm being generous with your rangers.
Yeah, no, I was trying to see if there was anyone in range of the sleep spell because I just want to pluck someone out of the sky. But if that's not possible, I'm going to take a shot.
Oh, that's horrible.
Okay, you're going to take a shot. What is Telde doing?
I just want to reconfirm our height at the moment.
You all are, I would say, at a nice, probably 150 flying right now. Because I assume you all would have started to come lower to prepare for, evacuation stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we can see people on the ground.
Yep.
Obviously, there are ground forces attacking.
Yeah. I also say even with the shield that is protecting the base below, you see that it's not like the entire shield fails at once. If it starts having struggles, there are holes that appear and then recover themselves. Enough focused fire basically breaches the shield briefly. The walls of the base are incredibly damaged at this point.
Okay. How are the troop concentrations below? Are we talking like very thick amounts, or there's pocket of 5 people, there's 5 over there?
That varies in itself. In general, it is a large mass. separated into groups of, I'd say, 20 to 40, depending.
Okay.
But there is the occasional smaller group. There's the occasional more organized looking group. Like, this is a disheveled army that is operating with a weird consistency.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Telde, you go ahead and give me a insight check, if you would, please.
Be right back.
There it is.
Telde, scanning the battlefield, you notice that the more disorganized looking units are being driven by priests. At least that's what you would assume they are. They have regalia and so on.
Okay.
Oh, and if I could,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to cast this.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Right into the opposing forces. Which, I guess I didn't roll the damage, but, you know.
I will say damage rolling is a little relevant here. We're going to handle this in a...
Yeah, I'm just saying I will totally fling one out at, like, the front of the enemy line, because the blind is more or less what I was hoping for.
What do we know the shielding in terms of what it will block?
For you, I would like just a straight intelligence roll.
Okay. That saves.
I'm not going to give you much bonus for your long livedness, because this is shields are relatively recent developments. You, Telde, think that they are kinetic based, essentially. They will absorb energy blasts pretty readily and any sufficiently fast moving rounds. And they will block most modern munitions if successful in doing so.
Okay. So, I'm thinking I'm going to... Got 2 people still on deck, 3 people still on deck, 4 people. Almost everybody's still on deck. Yeah, I am going to dimension door down.
Okay. Are you doing that down into the base?
Yeah, I am going to go, essentially down to the base. I'm going to try and get everything. Start gathering people up to get it more quickly.
In that case, let's start resolving these. Cassie, I want you to just give me a straight attack roll. Don't worry about sharpshooter or anything. You don't need to do that. Actually, Tommy might be gone. Okay. Cassie, on that, you do actually wing somebody. However, they are still in the air. Unfortunately, critical miss is not going to do much. Carrick.
Yes.
Your spell.
The dice.
Trail of the dice is real.
Your spell, Carrick. You're doing it at ninth level? No, what level are you doing it at?
Sorry, that's 5th level.
5th level. Rather alarmingly, Carrick, your spell is disrupted. And it's not like it was cancelled the moment you sort of cast it, like a normal cancel spell would, but it seems to fizzle out above the battlefield. And rather immediately in response, you see a vibrant purple streak of lightning actually surge towards the airship from amidst the forces on the ground. Looks like there's a unit of about 10 down there that must have a strong mage within them. Fortunately for you all, the lightning just scorches across the side of the airship without too much damage. Gifton, your sunburst will actually dazzle and seemingly you see a couple of people actually drop near the walls of the base, and it causes more disorientation than it does damage. But that's disorientation that stops the assault on the walls from those that were clearly running towards it with grenades and other detonation charges.
Ooh.
Yeah, because
They may have already been cooked.
Yeah, because I don't expect that much damage to kill most mooks, but I was like going, yeah, we'll try.
Shaxon, your construct appears on board, on top of one of the enemy airships. What is its command?
It's basically just start wrecking shit.
Okay, it starts trying to pound at the metal directly above, beneath its feet. Its heated form. There's discoloration on the metal as it's clearly heating. But you know how strongly these things are built. This would take its time, but it might be something that they decide they can't ignore.
There isn't any chance that some of those idiots had their grenades already pulled and they blew up in their places.
You know what? We're going to do a luck roll for you.
Because they were running and then they got dazzled.
Okay,
They're probably suiciding.
I just want to see if they blow up.
Kaboom!
I know.
We're going to give you straight 50-50.
Okay.
Do you prefer high or do you prefer low?
I prefer low because I'm short.
Okay. A 3. So,
secondary.
So, about 3 seconds after you dazzle and disrupt the group, Gifton, there is 3 explosions from amongst them, which it's a horrible sight. As there is blood spray, limbs, and pieces of people are sent flying.
Oh, Gifton doesn't like it.
Yeah. In fact, this is a rather fresh new form of combat to you. There is just mass death happening at any moment.
It's actually so much worse than what happened in Dolpwood.
Yeah. Like, this is just, you can hear constant machine gun fire coming from the walls. There are people dropping at an obscene rate.
En masse.
Yeah.
The wizard that shot the lightning, how far are they out?
I'd say we're going to go with that, the airship's descending. They're probably about 120 feet out.
Perfect. I can see them.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to do, Corvus?
Will pull his rifle out, start twisting his arm, infused arm, grab onto the rifle. Magic flows into the rifle as he shoots at the wizard.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
With this. It's a 20-foot sphere around point of impact.
Okay, so the immediate thing you see is the wizard shield themselves, which they seem to come through this unscathed as the smoke and dust clears. However, the people around them do not. You see at least 5 of his companions just drop dead. Others sort of picking themselves up, trying to pull themselves together. Tilde.
Yes.
Appearing down in the courtyard, immediately there are guns trained on you and shouts of alarm in Hexenreich.
In Hexenreich, I will respond. I am Tilde. I am here to assist with the evacuation. The ship is arriving.
Okay, someone comes running up to you. She looks like she is wearing... how familiar are you with Hexenreich uniform rankings? Give me a history roll.
Okay,
He knows entirely too much. By the way, Dingus is also doing that somewhere.
Yes, he does know entirely too much. Okay, Dingus is... Dingus does that, which causes some mass death. Also causes roars as you see in the aerial combat a blue dragon seems to take notice of this and starts to turn towards you all. Tilde, this is a first blue. Lieutenant. She actually comes running up to you and goes, Tilde, yes?
Yes.
I'm Hilda. Get your ship down right now.
It is coming down. The others are assisting with diversions at the moment. I'm
And
here to gather as many for the...
she's actually just grabbing hold of your wrist. And she's starting to drag you off to what looks like it's a very, very fortified building, like as much as the walls themselves are. She's pulling you over towards the large set of, not quite hangar doors, basically just large warehouse doors. Stuff that what they use to move large equipment.
In that case, if that's where she's pulling me towards, I'm going to put some more speed into it.
Okay.
And start running a bit more forcefully myself in that direction.
Yeah, she quickly leads you over and opening up the, how you get the small doors inset into large doors. Takes you inside, but there are civilians in here. There's the smell of sweat, just that general unpleasant odor of people that have been held up for a long time. You can clearly see that there are cots and such in here, and you imagine that these civilians have actually been living here for a bit. Far more than just today. And she starts barking commands at a couple of soldiers that are still posted in here, grabbing one young man and just going, Rudolph, you are to assist this man in getting the civilians onto the airship that is coming down. You understand? Yes, ma'am. And she's gives you an hotel date and then just runs straight back on out.
Is this all of them?
Yes, sir. This is everybody. Sergeant Beck, and he salutes to you.
I'm going to snap off a really quick salute, but mostly one of those, yes, but we have other things to do kind of responses.
Yeah, with your check and even just your passive insight, you can clearly get a read on this man. Yeah, it's a sergeant, but this is fancy boy who got into a position and looks very fresh.
Someone thoroughly out of his depth currently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to be at the back of the group as quickly as possible.
Yeah, of course, sir.
Watch for
Warner.
any stragglers.
And he waves at a couple of others who quickly move. Scarlet brings the airship down further. For those still on deck, there is a brief shimmer as the shielding opens up a small portal, clearly able to control sort of dynamically where it's extending its shield to. The glow of it surrounding you as you all slip through, and a light on the courtyard ground.
This is off deck, down through her spat, and getting to the cargo door.
Okay. Right. You go down to the cargo door and you get it open, yes?
Yes.
And that'll be what you are doing. Gifton.
I'm diving into that group with the mages with the sword out.
Okay.
And I'm going for whoever looks fancy, and I'm having Dingus come with me.
Right. Dingus will alight on the ground with you and basically just start swinging tail, beating wings, and generally chomping and spraying breath.
Yeah, well, we're basically just going to try and mess up the mages as much as we can.
Yep. Okay. What about Shaxton?
My question is two-part.
Yes.
One, would it be an intelligence check or something to see if I at least have a vague idea of what the floor plan underneath the thing for the goal, where the golem's attacking would be?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a DC 40 check. I think you can beat that.
Straight intelligence. Actually, I don't think I can straight intelligence if it's something.
No, I want you to do a history check.
History? Okay. I'm assuming straight.
Yes.
Yeah. Gonna burn a card on it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to give you a chance, but I can't go and just make it easy.
What was that?
Can you deal with the blue dragon?
Oh, I
can't bump that high enough to make it.
Slightly army smashing plan, but I can do that instead.
I mean, either way.
I was thinking of something tsunami.
Yeah, I'm not looking for, if it helps, I'm not looking for anything specific, just enough to know that if I'm doing something dumb like, say, dimension dooring, I'm not going to appear in a fucking wall.
Shexon, with that, yeah, you are unfamiliar with this model of ship. This is clearly one of the newer things, and you didn't work on that kind of project. If you had to guess, you could safely, pretty confidently land yourself in a cargo hold, so because their positioning is fairly consistent and large. But anything else, no.
Shax will actually look over in Carrick and go, how do you feel about causing havoc within that airship?
There is a dragon to deal with up there too. I can try to do both.
I'm saying I can get you inside easily.
Take all day for that. No, I'll wait till it's gone.
How big?
Yeah, I could have done
Airship.
What was that?
Like roughly, how big was that airship-ish?
That airship is probably another. You're scaled up by another third.
Okay, so it's bigger than us. So there actually is a chance I could actually just go full dragon and just start stopping.
Yeah, in a cargo hold or something like that. You'd think so.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to get anywhere within it, but
yeah.
He's planning on just spraying acid down a hallway.
Yeah.
Spray acid straight up, spray acid straight down, and just fucking melt the inside.
Severus, appreciate that you're thinking about doing the same thing I can do.
Honestly, the best
You
thing
have the
that could
cape of the
happen right
Malpa?
now is to get Corvus over there and have him drop an anti-magic shell in the center of one of those ships.
Yeah.
But we've got multiple ships to get out of here.
Corvus dropping anti-magic on that would be
Actually,
great.
intelligence check for anybody who would like to do it.
I would say it, but I'm busy.
No, anybody.
Sorry, what was that?
Intelligence check for anybody who would like to do it.
Yeah, I guess if we're not limited, I might as well roll it.
Yeah, Cass, look at you.
That's a save.
Only on the rolls that aren't.
Oh, minus any
Toby.
save proficiency, but I don't think you have intelligence save, right?
Oh, it would be a straight 20.
Okay.
Straight 20.
Yeah, okay. Alright, Carrick and Corvus, you don't really get much from this.
Okay.
Gifton?
Yeah.
This is a lot. This is a lot, even with how powerful you are. Everyone else, this isn't a winnable fight.
Yeah, then we're doing damage control and getting out.
I honestly thought I was just distracting.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring just dropping airship on is a pretty good
Yeah.
fucking distraction.
Also, with those intelligence rolls, Shaxton,
Mm-hmm.
you remember the kind of teleportation defenses airships didn't have, even without a mage on board. That's a very dangerous thing to do. It could be successful, but there is a chance that you'll be scrambled.
Do you want to lose
Scramble, that's not a good idea.
more parts of your body section?
But it's also not impossible if you do want to do it.
If it was just me, I'd be more willing to risk it, but if I'm going to be trying to get Carrick in there too, I'm not willing.
Yeah. Essentially, they have built-in inscriptions that have a chance to trigger. They are more likely not to. It is essentially a fuck, if this works, that's helpful.
Mhm.
But there is still that chance.
Yeah, that'd be one that Jack just wouldn't be willing to make that gamble on.
So, were the mages close to the building?
Again,
Where,
I will reiterate, the mages are scattered.
no, where Gifton had landed.
Gifton,
There.
if she went for the one that fired, it's not like, it's probably about, no, that one's probably about 120 odd feet away from the base itself.
Mm-hmm.
Corvus could see it, so it's 120 feet at least.
I just went for it because it was a visible target that I thought I could do something about.
Yeah.
And I cleared it out for you. Cleared out all the mooks.
Yeah. And just so you know, don't be talking about me saying this is unwinnable. Everything you do does buy more time for civilians to get on board. You have a counter.
Is there a breach in the walls?
There are small fractures, and like you see tops of pieces of wall missing. You see little bits that are like there are chunks out of the wall. There is no massive breach yet that could like be pushed through.
Flood.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a thing where go bigger, go home for doing stuff. Gonna pull out a simulacrum and use the wish with the save the spell and guess you tsunami.
Okay. Very nice.
Line. I'm making sure I'm not hitting gifting with it.
Okay, very nice.
It
okay.
moves 50 feet around.
Which way are you making this move?
I'm making it move away from where
we
are. So
a bit far into the lines, but away from the base.
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, downward headed towards where they had the cannons would probably be a good move.
Okay.
Because it can probably reach it by that point.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Immediately, you see that this begins to cause havoc. There are people that are swept away along with it. You do see that both priests and clearly what must be mages start to essentially counter with their own defenses. You see walls go up. You see magical fields. You see just like fucking gusts of wind. There's countermeasures being taken. Not all of them are entirely effective.
I like to actually imagine that they're using like the cantrip to move wind is one of them.
Carrick, immediately, yes. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. Also, actually, no, I better ask. Did you get off the airship before it landed?
I think me and Garrick are about standing on deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
your skill at the battlefield would be.
I would have been actually hopped off as we were coming down and flying.
Okay, right. So you are airborne.
Yeah.
So I was probably do the same given checks. It's smart enough to figure hop off, and he's probably
okay. So you're both in the air.
Close near to run interference, basically.
And in that case, you both are talking. I need the two of you to make me dexterity saving throws.
Okay, I need to double check one thing from Gifton. The simulacrum does not get the bonus save.
I think that comes from her thing.
That's what I thought. I wanted to make sure before I hit this button.
I took all that stuff off, I thought, so.
That's what I thought, so.
No.
Okay, right. A few seconds after you cast that tsunami, Carrick, you see a few spells attempted to be launched at you and Shaxton. None of them come close to hitting. But more alarmingly is a resounding cannon fire, and then essentially explosions of shrapnel and fire around you as you are essentially under attack by flak cannons. Explosive bursts in the air around you.
Not good. Not good.
Both of you.
I'm going to ask, is that a failed save or a successful save?
That is a successful save, so it will be half damage.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I would burn a legendary save otherwise, so.
Okay, both of you, and this is the half number already, will be taking 21 points of damage.
Is that slashing, piercing, bludgeoning?
That would be piercing, I believe.
Piercing. Okay, so it's one of those, so I have that again. Okay.
Yeah, and it is not magical, I will make sure that's clear.
It's not magical?
Yeah.
You said how much originally?
21 is the halved amount, so 42.
Should I take 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly slap my token down on the map, that way I can easier just do maths.
Okay.
Half of 21 actually would be 10, because you round down.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gifton.
I was going to ask, since I didn't actually take an action beyond just make sure I stuck close to Carrick. I want to do a semi two-part. I want to cast detect magic to see the people who are doing casting in the thing, because I've got 120 feet on it, and then I want to take at least one shot to start popping heads.
Okay. Yeah. I would let you do that as one part. So yeah. You do detect magic. And within 120 feet, you pick out the auras of casters. But quite alarmingly, there is a magical aura over most of this force.
Because they've got stuff cast on them and shit like that.
Just based on your own battlefield knowledge, there are supportive casters and there are offensive casters. They must have both spread out amongst the army.
If I've got any in range, I'd actually probably focus on supportive casters first, because I can get more people able to be
on that. I would like an investigation check.
Okay.
To try and distinguish them in the middle of the fight.
Yep, just double checking, make sure I don't have anything that gives me any screw things for that. Okay. Straight investigation.
Okay, you easily start to mark out those that are, flailing towards you and the base, and those that seem to be more sequestered, moving around the troops. Go ahead and give me an attack roll if you want to try to start taking out the defensive casters, supportive ones. That is a hit. You just basically blow the head off of one. You see an attempt to shield, and the round just penetrates straight through it.
Can I see where Saxon is targeting?
You are still on the airship? Yeah?
Yes.
You cannot. You can see Shaxton and Carrick up in the air. However, the airship is now within the compound's walls.
I see.
You can see within you, there are soldiers that are actually bracing the gate down here. They seem to be trying to reinforce it. And there are soldiers going up and down the stairs that lead to the upper walls, moving wounded people and basically taking their places. Down on the ground, there are wounded people. There are dead people. There are far too few nurses, healers, whatever you want to call them. Essentially, medical treatment and triage is barely happening.
Okay. Corvus then is going to shoulder the rifle and start tending to those matters, but keeping an eye on the gate. So if the gate goes down, he will form a type of barrier in front of it.
Okay. Right. You can do that.
If there's anyone visibly flying around that are enemies.
There are. They're a little hard to see at this point because again the larger airships providing cover, but you can see the occasional sort of sip of a Goemajir trying to move around behind it. They do not seem to be wanting to do that too often, so because the airship's cannons then on that side are entirely focused on them rather than in the other assailing airships.
Well, the thing is that with Corvus's medical combat medic, he can do the triage stuff and then quick snap.
You can you can fire at a Goemajir.
Yeah. I'll just do that then. Boom.
Okay. Yeah.
As he's in the middle of triage,
much like Shaxton, you see the attempt of a defensive shielding go up, and then just a body falling. Gifton.
Hey.
You and Dingus are causing havoc. Immediately though, you see this blue dragon essentially folding its wings in and dive bombing. I feel incredibly tempted to have a freaking classic dive bombing plane noise on that, but yeah.
I have a question. Are there any friendly soldiers anywhere near me?
Near you? Alive?
60
no.
feet.
60 feet? No. You can see some in sight. There is actually a what do you call it? Trench in front of the walls of the building, the compound, I should say, where there's probably 5 soldiers that were holding a line that looked like it probably had 40 in it.
Mm-hmm. And they're all probably dead or wounded to the point.
5 left alive and actually actively shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I guess there's no point in doing a mass cure wounds over here.
You can move over there if you can do it if you want.
Yeah, but there's nobody alive in the trench. Maybe I don't know.
There might be wounded people.
All right. I'm gonna back up that way because I have 3 casting and mass cure wounds I can do, and I'm gonna throw a mass cure wounds. As soon as I get into range of where I think there's friendlies, and if I'm also able to do it, I would Actually, no, I'll wait till I'm closer to more friendlies. So, yeah, I'll do that. And I'm basically just defending, killing, fighting, doing whatever with Dingus. We're just continuing to do that. But I'm trying to do that while I'm still singing out loud.
Okay. Gifton, you move over towards the echo-friendly lines, and usually Mascu wounds 6 soldiers to stand up from the trenches, looking bewildered, confused, but quickly grabbing rifles or... Well, frankly, there's one that is just hacking grenades. Looks like they are running out of ammunition here.
I'm going to yell fall back at them, but I'm yelling it in brass. I don't know that to say fall back. I'm just kind of doing the over-the-shoulder go.
I will tell you, Towdy taught you how to say that way, go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that way, go, and next and right very badly.
Gain.
Okay. Gifton, you see the dour looks on their faces. The fort's closed. There is nowhere for them to go.
They're the last defense.
All right, then I'm gonna look over and say, Dingus, take.
Dingus, looking worried at the Blue Dragon diving, starts to move that way. However, Gifton, with the distraction of the forces and the Blue Dragon and such, it comes as quite a surprise as there is a sort of rippling of darkness in the air about 20 feet off from you, and then an unfurling of wings as a strange shadowy dragon seems to materialize.
Oh no.
And it takes a deep breath in and opens its mouth towards you. You see purple flame sort of coming up from its gullet before Dingus tackles it.
My wings up, trying to block it.
Dingus tackles it from the side and essentially shoves it aside. This flame spurting out beside you as Dingus gets locked into combat with it.
A shadow red dragon? Ouch.
Shadow dragon.
Cassie, you have gotten the ramp down. There is an immediate a bit of alarm. 40 refugees is a lot of people, even for this airship. Like, it's a squeeze. There's a shack.
Actually, there is a good thing for that check. I'm disengaging it, grabbing it, and I'm setting it near the doors.
Okay, yeah. Right, you quickly...
I'm giving them cover.
Are you just going to cut the lines, holding it in place?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just shove it out.
Right, you shut it up and you start moving it to the gate.
Yep.
A couple of soldiers will actually come over to assist you because they're moving stuff to try and shore up the gate anyway. Not entirely sure why there's a little mini house, but
Can I do one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to so I still had thaumaturgy going. I am yelling in the only language I think no one here will understand that isn't in the party, and there's some people who will get it. I'm gonna yell in Enochian. Help! Need help!
Okay.
I can't stop the Blue Dragon and save these 10 people behind me.
You mean the pair of dragons now?
Well, there's a black dragon Dingus has. I've got the blue dragon, and there's 10 guys with grenades behind me.
Okay.
So
Telde.
Enochian yelling of help, need help.
All of you will hear Gifted yelling. Actually, no, I can't actually say that. I would like
It's a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise. I would like everybody to make me.
I have a chance.
But it's a lot of noise. That's why.
It's a lot of noise.
Perception checks from everybody. I will give you advantage because it is thaumaturgy times 3.
Corvus doesn't know Enochian.
I'm just wanting to see if you hear her at all.
Though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump mine to a 25.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
You know my danger.
Elday knows exactly where that voice is coming from in the middle of the battlefield.
Everybody hears Gifton.
Not expecting that.
Amazing. Yeah, everybody hears Gifton. Those of you that you understand Enochian can tell what she's saying. I think everybody knows the sound of distress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Telde, this is amazing because I think you are actually the furthest away from her. But,
I was going to say, I thought I was probably the least likely to hear her.
And I could say that I should probably not give you advantage, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got a 40 either way.
But yes, you the gates are actually being opened up. The door here, the cargo door. And you can start leading the civilians over the ship if you want. Although it seems Sergeant Beck and Wolf and Warner are sort of getting them going anyway.
Load them in. I'll yell in Hexenreich.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go reinforce the front. Buy you more time.
Cass is just yelling at Telde, "Go!"
Yeah, there's the sort of record echo determination from the three of them. What are you doing, Telde?
Pardon?
What are you doing?
Well, having yelled to have them go get the people to the ship, I am going to... So, how large is this base again?
80 by 80, essentially.
80 by 80. And I've seen the outside. I know
the capital ship above the base is bigger than the base.
Like. Yeah, no. It's if I'm going to where Gifton is, I've seen that spot, so I have an idea, and I could dimension door over there.
Indeed.
Although it might be somewhat tricky.
Going through the wall.
Well, not so much the wall, it's more the mass of people moving outside.
Yeah.
Do it into the air and drop. You'll be fine.
I could actually do that. I do have a feather token.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you're feather fall token, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Even if you just did it 15 feet off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see any of what's attacking her from where I would be?
I'd say that you see the blue dragon diving.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride that. You can teleport onto that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to dimension door.
Land on the dragon.
You want to be on the dragon?
Yeah, I'm going to try and dimension door onto the dragon.
Okay, very nice. Right, you can match the distance to it pretty good. You appear. I'm gonna need an athletics check to latch on
Multiple swords
to the very speedily diving dragon.
I like driving.
You can hear from its teeth as it's diving. It's making this sort of like weird stucker noise.
Okay. No, I am going to throw a card. I just have to figure out which one. Fortunately,
yes, athletics, the thing he's not good at. Remember this. Yep. There's something he's not good at.
Look at this. If he fucks up, at least that's the further fall token.
Nope, it's not loading things for a second there. Alright, I guess I'll use this one. And then re-roll.
My brain first immediately went so he could drop 50.
That's much better. Right, you latch onto one of the spines midway along its back.
By the way,
it does not seem to be aware of your presence.
You officially see it diving towards me, who I've got a bunch of people in a trench behind me that I'm trying to look around frantically for a way to get rid of, and Dingus is locked in a life or death battle.
I'm not sure I can say I'm going to try and stab it, but
you can try and stab it, though.
To do.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Come on, 20.
And I will point out, I did say 20. It's unaware of your presence, so you get your sneak attack.
Come on, 20.
But remember, if it has
in fact, you know what?
actions...
Advantage, because it's unaware of your presence.
This is amazing. Do it, Dan. Murder this son of a bitch. You won't kill it in one hit, but you'll really piss it off.
Oh, it depends if he crits.
Vorpal didn't do it.
Sad. Oh, wow. This lighting. Have to highlight that. Okay.
Actually, 1 second. 25.
You rolled an 18?
Yeah,
Rolled
I'm
an
trying to
18.
recheck.
I think Vorpal has to proc on a 20.
Yeah, but he's got crit range stuff.
No, it's the thing with Vorpal
Yeah.
procs on
Yeah.
20.
Yeah,
But
it
crit
does.
damage.
Yeah, he
So
might still
crit-
have higher damage because of crit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
when
my
you're
crit
saying
range
he's
should be
discarding-
18 to 20.
Okay.
After game.
Oh, wait, no.
I just said it. No.
Oh,
No.
no, I only rolled a 6.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right.
Oh yeah, plus 19 to hit.
Oh. All right. In that case, you score a hit, digging your blade into its side, which makes it veer off course, suddenly rolling in the air, sort of head whipping around, trying to snap at whatever's biting at it. Okay. Right, the civilians start flocking onto the airship. Carrick, I assume you're continuing the tsunami?
Yes. Hold on. Actually, wait. I didn't cast that. Simulacrum cast that.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So I still have concentration. So I'm using
You can
actually.
still do other bullshit.
I'm sure. Shaq, stay close, and I'm using the my staff of power to cast a globe of vulnerability.
Okay, where are you doing that? Oh, it's your own barrier.
On me.
Okay.
10-foot radius around me.
Right, very
And
nice.
it affects even upcast spells, even if they start below 5th.
Very nice.
Nice.
Okay.
I've not used that spell yet because I hadn't found use to be. Hadn't dealt with spellcasters enough.
Yeah,
Alright.
I will notice. We'll probably notice that Shax is doing a lot of work of making sure to basically shadow Carrick while he's moving.
And he basically goes right after I do, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I am going to actually start heading. Do you double move, by the way? I would know this by now. With bonus. Fast. Is it Gormagier or are you the other type?
I have
He's not. You're a scout, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a speed of 40 on flight.
Okay, you don't have the extra move thing like a rogue does.
I do actually get that as a scout.
Since I would know that probably by now, I'm going to double speed as shifting into a dragon to start heading towards Gifted.
Okay. Very
Can
nice.
he just pick Shax up at that point?
I was going to actually ask if he shifts before he starts moving. Can I basically just grab on?
Yeah, I'll know it.
Okay.
Just let him ride on your back. It'll be fine.
So flight speed's 80.
Okay. You reach Gifton, like no question.
I'm pretty sure I have nothing left to do at this point. I'm pretty sure I've used
Jackson,
everything. So
you're at Gifton. Yep, there are Hexamite men in trenches, seemingly on your side. Dingus is in like gnashing, rather brutal combat with what looks to be a shadow drake of some sort.
actually, real quick, I'm gonna make sure I'm close enough that Gifton's within the globe because I'm pretty freaking big now. Because 10-foot radius around me.
I'm also pretty big right now.
I get the feeling even with the nature roll, I won't know what the fuck that dragon is.
No, you could conceivably. Go ahead and give me. Actually, I'm going to call this Arcana.
Okay, that is a better roll, so I'm good with that.
Like these aren't natural, but they're not like some new weird thing that is related to all the dark shit that's happening. That is a shadow dragon. They are corrupted drakes. Tend to be done through horrid rituals. Judging by the flame and such, that one was a red.
Cool. I'm guessing that Dingus is basically right on top of the thing.
Yeah, they are like intertwined essentially.
Their necks are probably lashed. They're biting each other. They're clawing. They're snapping. Dingus is doing radiant fire. It's doing shadow fire.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
This is yin yang.
Tossed in there in a little bit.
It is actually a perfect counter right now. There's this white feather dragon and a shadow beast.
I was asking mostly because I have lightning bolt, but I was like, I don't want to hit Dingus with that.
Yeah, see, I'm not worried about
And
acid.
lightning bolt's not useful on the other thing. Because it's a blue.
Spray it into a crowd of soldiers.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say.
There are more troops approaching you. There's bullets whizzing around you. There is. Actually, I'm gonna say, fuck it. Your perceptions are already good enough. There are more people carrying what looks to be heavy explosives. There looks like there is a charge led by a strange centaur-like drake. It is almost like if you were given extra legs, Shaxton.
But one of those would be missing too.
Yeah, Shaxton, I'm going to lightning bolt and actually upcast it to 5th.
Nice.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, your surge of lightning just passes through a line of troops. Once again, this doesn't cause secondary detonations because they were holding them ready. It's just this lightning charge is setting off charges. And it's an almost staggered series of explosions that happen carrying on down this line. The one leading the charge, however, while now lacking an arm, keeps charging towards the gate.
It's Urakaing it, Helm's Deep style.
I don't think I can do anything else on this.
Okay. Telday. Going back to you. Yeah, the dragon is whirling. It's still in a dive, but it's shadowing out as if it's no longer trying to actually head for the ground. It's more just trying to recover its fall.
Alright, I am going to attempt to keep hacking at it.
Okay, go ahead and give me another attack. No longer is it unaware of your presence, unfortunately.
Alright, technically,
but you are a
still...
You're a one-on-one rogue, aren't you? So you'll still get your sneak attack.
Yeah.
That is rude shit.
Ooh,
that's a better roll.
That is a better roll.
It's a 13, but still better than a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Telday. You actually sliced deep enough into one of its basically the shoulder membrane, wing part. Basically that jointing there, that one of its wings starts to falter, like it goes semi-limp, then it stiffens out again as if it tries to recover. It's unable to control it properly, and you are now in a spiraling dive with this dragon.
Didn't ask for everybody else. Is the extra damage like showing up still in?
Oh yeah, it's white as heck in dark mode.
It's white and it doesn't actually.
I don't do dark mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned dark mode off after seeing this.
I like it.
I have it on dark mode because everything else is sort of defaulted.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to keep holding on?
How high above the ground are we at this point?
At this point, you're going from probably 80 feet dropping.
I could either try to hold on or I could attack it again. Try to really cripple it.
Go for one more. If you get rolled off, then you still have the Featherfall token.
I will say, you will impact the ground next turn.
Yeah, this is falling. This isn't like
falling fast.
Gliding.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
you can survive the fall.
You're a badass. You got this. You'll do it.
Yep. I'm gonna take another swing.
Well, you'll get that swing on you next turn, but you are keeping hold, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Corvus.
Corvus is going to change up his actions.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to activate a spell in his arm, grab his mask, infuse the mask with it, and the mask lets out this. So as I'm going to the areas of injured, they're getting this aura of plague doctor-ness.
Okay.
You can do one creature basically.
No, it's an area effect around me.
No, but
No, read further, Marcus.
It says one creature.
Right. Yeah.
So
yes. One
it's
creature
not-
at a time.
yeah, it's one creature at a time. But yeah.
Okay.
I
Right.
will say that saying the aura of plague doctor just doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound like you're actually helping.
In his mind, he is.
Yes, yes, and you actually are. It's just the wording.
Yes.
Gifton.
Again, as a bonus action, I can still take cracks.
Oh, yep. Go ahead and take another shot then.
Keep on having to remind myself that. Boop.
Right. Yeah. You take down another of the Goa Magia in the air.
And hopefully getting a few of the soldiers back on their
One of them, yes. Alright, Gifton.
Blue Dragon's coming down with Pelday on it.
Yeah, not particularly close to you at this point because you've moved from the location it was targeting, and it's just in an uncontrolled forward now.
Yeah, and I don't see anybody going to get the guys out. I don't have any immediate threat on me, do I?
Not that you can see, no. Beyond just like there are bullets pinging around you in general.
Do I see the guys running at us with the bombs?
Yes.
Okay.
Although it's not so much running at you as their eyes are on the gate.
Okay.
They're helms deeping it.
Yes, they are helms deeping it.
Okay. I will
Be better than Legolas.
What do you think, Blackheart? Sunburst or tsunami? I think sunburst.
You could be lucky again.
Actually, no, that wouldn't be a good one. Fire.
Tsunami does stick around, and you only have to maintain concentration.
I don't have. I'd have to use my 9 slot. I just checked. I don't have another 8. So,
I mean, you can start dropping cubes from Firestorm.
Actually, Wall of Stone would work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna slam down a Wall of Stone across the front.
Okay, cool. Extra defense. You Wall of Stone, and you actually see this draconic Tor lacking an arm essentially charge at blinding speed and launch themselves at what would probably be a gate-defeating explosion, as there is this strange, which actually no, most of you can identify the power source of a air mage at this point. You know what the Goemma gems are. Seems to glow around its neck, and there is a sudden detonation which cracks and half crumbles the wall that you just put up. You just saved the gate.
Okay, and if I could do one other thing, if I may, I will do. I had it, and then I scrolled past it. I will do guiding song to everyone that I feel is an ally in 60 feet.
That's very nice, cool.
So basically, musical notes just start shooting off, and the lines go off, and everybody gets to do a cool thing, and blah 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 blah. And I'm basically making sure to flare out my wings. I'm trying to make sure I'm defending the guys in the trenches because I've got my big sword now leveled out.
Yeah, very nice.
Second half of that with the hit die thing for anything that's on our side. Actually,
I know it's actually very useful.
21 HP guarantee.
You bolster the people around you. And they seem to, with more confidence, land their shots better. People falling for you. Dingus actually clamps his jaws down onto the neck of the shadow dragon and exhales at the same time. And you see this sort of blinding wash of flame and radiance passing over this dragon and scorching it. And it's almost as if those weird shadowy flickers around this dragon do get driven away from its own flesh. And Dingus standing triumphantly. Cassie.
He just killed the dragon. Jesus Christ.
the civilians are streaming into the airship at this point. The Hexenreichers hearing the detonation beyond the gate and flinching as if expecting it to fall. What would you like to do?
How many more people are moving towards the airship? How many more do we have, and how much room, guesstimate-wise, might we have?
We can start sending people up top if you have.
Yeah, most of them are basically at the airship at this point. It is now just the stream because not everyone's going to fit in the hold.
Yep.
So it is, if you want to get in and start trying to direct them up.
Yeah, Cass is going to
put them into any room,
yeah,
any space.
Scarlet would have also actually thrown down the side loading ladders, essentially, to get onto the upper deck.
Just steal that hit die, by the way. That she just used for.
Cass is just looking at all the refugees and the soldiers and pointing up.
Yep. You point upwards, and Rudolph Beck starts, trying to herd people up the ladders and so on. Wolf and Warner both lead groups around the sides to actually start climbing the side ladders.
If we're going to have any sort of room that Cass even remotely thinks that there's going to be a possibility of extra room, she's going to turn and yell at Corvus, "Any who can be moved, get them ready to get over here. We're taking everyone we can."
Okay.
Right. With that, just because of time and the fact that you guys already defeated the main sort of lines of you could fail, the battle continues on. The tsunami wave that Carrick did actually being disrupted at some point. You see surges of energy passing up through it at different points and simply just sort of forcing the waves to disperse. And then there is the sight of some high-level magic being done. Multiple casters would have to work through this to... Arcana checks from anybody witnessing, and anybody that can see the sky, which is all of you, I believe, can see this happening. Corvus, I think you're the only one that can't.
Yeah, I'm kind of busy.
Oops. Had that set for advantage.
I'll burn a card to give me advantage. I've just got to find the card, so I'm taking advantage on this though. Oh, I didn't roll it twice, and I'm an idiot. Apparently, that was 15 was my best. So
nice. Okay. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, yeah, that's everybody that can see.
Yeah.
But I was trying to count up to 6. I forgot about Corvus not being able to see this, despite having just said it.
Since she's nearby, I also bumped Gift into a 23.
Oh, hey, Kristen. So, anyone that rolled over a 20 can
sad Talday noise.
Immediately identify the large, like, sky-blotting arcane sigils that are forming. You have a few moments of warning before an amplified meteor swarm.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use Wish to cast Counterspell.
Okay, you can do indeed. Now, like I
feel like that's a waste of a wish, but also
so
not
this will be an 8th
wish.
level counterspell versus 10th level casting.
Yeah.
So I need you to roll.
Actually, can I just wish for no? Would that be better? Would that be better?
You can try. Do you want to wish for no?
Wait, well, I want to confer with the other casters in the group. Should I risk hurting myself very badly and make a wish to get? Because if I did a wish, I'll probably wish to get every friendly target and our ships 5 miles away to safety.
What's your wisdom?
My wisdom is a 24.
A +7. You'd need to roll on counterspell itself. You'd need to roll at least a 13 to counter.
Yeah, I need at least a 13 to counter it. So, would you guys think it's better to risk hurting Gifton really bad and me trying to fumble together a wish to get every friendly that is alive and their airships 5-10 miles away to safety, and then just have us try to put it together from there? Or do you guys want me to do the counterspell? Because I will be out of it for literally 3 days.
So it has the same effect to you either way. It's just which thing.
The counterspell, I have a chance to fail.
Yeah, so she has a chance to fail, but she will be absolutely fine otherwise.
Yes. The other one,
so
I can guarantee. I could guarantee get us out of the way of that meteor swarm, get everybody to safety, but I will be incapacitated for 3 days at least.
And she
Also,
might
wouldn't that,
lose
yeah,
wish.
it doesn't necessarily have a chance of losing you.
I could possibly lose wish, but
we would have just
saved a lot of fucking people.
Can I give a little DM hint? Don't normally want to do this. This isn't the only thing they can do.
I think I should risk the spell. That we know this is a losing fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
the premise of this thing was to get in and get as much people out. We weren't going to win this regardless.
Yeah, we weren't going to win this regardless.
I'm also going to point out something else. You're wishing for something that is not within the normal rules is down to DM purview, and I tend to judge this with there are kind eyes upon you.
Mm-hmm.
There are no kind eyes here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no kind eyes upon us here. So, I mean, there is the chance we might not even get what I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might decide the allies are only our group and that's it. So,
you fell a counter spell or you fell an exodus. What do you want to fell? Potentially.
I don't know. That's why I was asking input.
That's the thing is there's that has a big on either side if you feel that we're getting hit.
Well, I tell you what. How about we do this? You see these runes being cast. You can see the spell that is coming. You know, the mass devastation that a normal casting would be just one could cause, let alone this seemingly ritualized version with multiple casters.
Mm-hmm.
So with that moment of decision, that is actually where we're going to end this week. You got a week to deliberate on this.
That's awful. I actually really just wanted to roll to see if I lost count my spell now.
Nope.
God damn it. Okay.
We will do this same time next week.
Start the casting and make your decision next week.
No, I'm not going to say start the casting. You might decide not to do wish at all. Yeah. Everybody take a cool 5,000 experience points. Actually, we're going to make that 10,000 for what's gone on.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone take both your normal piety, and if you so wish it, everyone can have an Orlan piety.
Because we made war.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
To have Orlan piety on this character. It's hard to keep track.
I'll take an Orlan piety. Fuck
Sure.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I made him proud. What I just did. He liked that. I got right in the thick of it.
Wait, if we have no kind eyes on us, how is Orlan giving us pie?
Like I said, no kind eyes on you.
Yeah, remember.
He wasn't one of the ones who was kind to us.
Yeah.
Orlan's not kind to us.
Orlan don't like us none.
I mean,
outside of whatever side Orlan is on, he doesn't like you.
Outside of seeing us kick ass and take names, he doesn't like us.
Same time next week.
Yeah.